early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I've been re-editing stuff from my radio show because we had 2 people die that we didn't know about. Hi.
Hi.
You look
Hey,
great.
Anj.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Is it your birthday?
My birthday today, yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
It all sings happy birthday
Oh.
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday.
To you. Without a shirt.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I love you. Thank you so
I
much.
didn't know it was your birthday.
Yep.
That's so cool.
I'm a summer baby.
Summer baby.
My mother used to, when I was a kid, and she used to give me birthday parties and bring out the ice cream cake. It was always melting because it was hot out.
Uh-huh.
But today, now, you know, as an adult, when I have ice cream, I like it melting. I don't like it hard and cold. It's got to be melting, you know, creamy. That's the way I like it. Yogurt.
Oh, you don't like it hard and cold?
No.
You didn't do much with
You're getting into
Baskin Robbins.
character now.
Now, Anj.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. How are you, Anj?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm doing okay. My daughter finally came back from her 2-week camping trip all the way from Vermont to Acadia and then back. And she's not going to be going to Arizona right now because she has that teaching job, but she can do it virtually until they say get it over here. You know.
Teaching, is it a college? College?
Yes, she got a tenured position teaching.
Wow.
I know.
What does she teach? What does she teach?
Social justice, and she works with the men, the prisons. You can go online and see all her stuff with the social justice stuff that she does.
She just got the job recently?
No, she got it like 7 months ago. She just got her PhD couple months
well, that's still recently. I mean, it's not like she's been in the job for a while. So
no.
She's just basically starting. Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah. Happy.
Yeah. Right, I'm listening. I'm just walking away for a second.
Yeah.
Is tenure hard to get?
Since I didn't go to college and I have a lot of friends who are professors, they said it's unheard of right now, especially.
Well, now what's happening is this is happening in our college, but it's happening in a lot of colleges and universities. They're trying not to do tenure lines. They're trying to do, what do they call them? Like administrative lines, like 1-year contracts. You know, they want to hire you for a year and hire you.
Hers is 3 years.
Year by year. But the tenure track for me at my university, the tenure track is you work at the university for 6 years and then you apply for tenure.
Oh,
For your 7th year, yes. But unless you're like a star in your field and you're so famous, they could give it to you immediately, you know, or give it to you after a year. They can give you a year and then give it to you. Or usually what happens is they want you to be there for like 4 or 5 years, and then they'll give you the tenure.
Yeah.
Right away, you know, because they want to keep you, you know. So, but you know, so many things are changing right now, and they're trying to cut back, and they're trying to do whatever's cheaper. So,
yeah, exactly.
It's very hard to. And what happens is, it is kind of, it can be difficult to get tenure because what happens is you have to keep getting rehired every year. So you have to go through this process every year of your department, your chair and your department have to want you. And they form a committee. It's like a departmental committee, and then they have to go through all your stuff, and they have to see what you did. Did you do any publishing or whatever it is you do in your? and then you have to, and then when you finally do get through those 6 years, you know, you have to have enough publishing. For me,
Yeah,
it's
she's been
performance.
publishing, so she's
Yeah.
got, by the time she gets there in September, whenever, she's gotten 5 publications already.
Yes, tell her to keep
Wow.
publishing as much as possible. This way, there's no question about it, because that's what
Right.
they do. They always find a reason. Hello, Bill.
Hey,
Hi,
keep
Bill.
doing that.
Hi, Bill.
I don't want
Bill.
We're talking about
well-
tenure and getting tenure. We're talking about Anja's daughter got a job teaching. Yeah, because they'll find a little something saying, oh, not enough publications, or
Oh,
not
it's the
adequate
worst.
enough, or not the right kind of publications, or not
Right.
enough peer-reviewed
It's the
articles,
worst.
or whatever. You know what I mean? They, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, if they really want you, they'll give it to you. But if they want to
Right.
find a because also what happens is the political part of it is
I
they
know
can
that's
only give out a certain amount of tenure to a certain amount of people each year.
right.
So if they have to refuse you, they'll make
Right.
up some excuse, which is ridiculous,
Right.
you know. But then what happens is you just have to know that it's all part of the game, and your dean will say reapply next year, and then you just come back, reapply, and then in many cases you get it. Some cases you don't, you know, if they don't really want to keep you there.
Right. Right.
It's the worst.
That is so crazy. If you're there that many years, shouldn't that tell them?
This is
You know,
just
you want to
this
be
is
there. and you
useless
wanna be there the rest of
information.
your life?
This is useless information from a bunch of people who can't lose their jobs and don't want you to have that position.
Right.
You know, because once you have that power, you know, then they can't
They can't get rid of
manipulate you. They can't manipulate you once you
Right.
have it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they can't fire you unless you do something illegal,
Mhm.
or like, you know, you're like if a student claims sexual harassment or something like that, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can get fired.
Right.
Even that, we had a professor, and this was a black man years ago. This was in the 80s. I mean, he was insulting his own black students and calling them monkeys.
Oh, God.
Terrible names, and he was like sexually, I don't know what, talking to the girl. It took 2 years to get rid of the guy. I knew the guy was crazy. It took 2 years to get rid of him, to get him out, because he had tenure.
That's insane.
So once you get tenure, yeah, that's it. You're basically in.
Yeah.
And the faculty, go ahead.
Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
The only thing what they do is they can offer you like a really good retirement package if you're ready for early retirement.
Mhm.
You know, that sometimes they get rid of people that way, or like professors that are like in their 80s and they just want them to go now, or in their late 70s, you know, and they don't want to pay those big salaries anymore because
Right.
you know they're making great salaries. They offer them great retirement packages.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. In the faculty war that I was involved in, the guy that hired me was the victim of the faculty war. He was the chairman of the department, right? Given tenure with his chairmanship, right? And everybody in the whole department absolutely hated him, and I loved him. He hired me. He was smart enough to hire me, so you know I loved him. We got along great, but because I backed the wrong horse, the other people made sure my contract didn't get renewed because I wasn't going to be able to help them get rid of him.
Wow.
You know, and the next year they did get rid of him. Well, he was doing something bad, but you know they got rid of him.
And then they should have called you back because they go
They're
there.
never. I wouldn't go back, but they would never call me back. I would never go back. It's John will tell you. It's just so depressing. It's you know it's beyond depressing because none of it has to do with making the department better or improving the experience for the students. Absolutely nothing to do with that. You know, it's horrible. Hi, everybody. It's good to see you again.
Hi,
Yes.
everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
Be back.
Everybody's hair is a little longer. I'm still scared to go to get my hair cut. Still haven't done that yet.
I was scared. I got my hair trimmed, and it's a very small salon, and she said that, you know, we're only taking one at a time, blah, blah, blah. Well, I go in, and the woman starts washing my hair, and her mask is like under. I said, please don't touch me unless you have that mask on.
Really?
Over, yeah. And then someone walks in and the hairdresser doesn't say anything to him. So I
Oh.
like, I was so nervous by the time I got out of there. I mean, I was
Yeah.
just wrecked.
You can't make one mistake. That's the thing. I mean, that's the thing about opening schools is you can't make a mistake, and all kids do is make mistakes all day long. That's the whole premise of their age.
I'm so hoping Cuomo comes in and shuts the whole thing down because it's too crazy.
It's nuts.
What's going on at LIU? Are they still planning to go back?
Well, the president wants us. She sent out a couple of weeks ago. She sent out a memo saying we're going to go face to face and we're opening up.
Yeah.
And of course, any professor that was in their 60s or older and has a compromised immune system because of diabetes, like me, or asthma, or heart conditions, or whatever, they don't want to go back. They don't want to get into the classroom.
No.
So they want to have the choice. Some professors do want to go back.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to have the choice to say, I don't want to be I certainly don't want to go back. You know, I don't want to go into the classroom and risk that, you know.
No.
And the other thing is the masks. First of all, you know, we're in the arts. So the dancers, to dance for an hour and a half, well, more than an hour and a half, because they have 2 classes a day, plus they have rehearsals, to be breathing that heavy in a mask is going to be very difficult. Then in the acting classes, the acting and the voice for acting classes, how are you going to hear what the actors are saying with a mask on their face? And then you got to do. We have to put them in big rooms where in 2 big dance studios to physically distance It's just it's too convoluted. You know what I'm saying?
It is. It's really convoluted. Hi, Mel. Speaking of convoluted, hi, Mel.
Hi, Mel.
Hi, Mel.
Hey.
Hey, Mel, you don't have much facial light. I can't see.
I know. I'm trying to correct it. No. But I tell you what I do have. I have internet.
Oh, good.
Hey.
So we're not going to lose you.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I hope not too. That's good. Eric's not going to be here tonight. He called in, said he was not feeling well, and he'll see us all next week. So Eric's sick a lot, right? I mean, is it me?
From time to time he gets, he seems to not feel well.
Yeah. And how do you if we're all being so careful, and we are,
we're all
how do you,
so damn
that's the only advantage to all of this is that I usually always get a cold by now. I'm just less sick. So I guess that's a little advantage. I'm just trying to find a bright side in all of this. So
yesterday was the first time I was out in anything past like 10 people since this whole mess started. And I was at a grace at a church that had 100 people in the room.
Were they all distanced? Were they distanced?
Yeah, the tables were all hugely distanced. Everybody had their mask on all the time. I still didn't want to get close to anybody that I didn't know.
Well,
I've been around that wasn't sick, but even then you don't know.
You don't know. You can get a test and 3 hours later you can be sick.
That's right.
What's
about 12 days later, because it takes that long to come back.
Well, yeah, I know. It's so confusing. John, I'm sure that they're going to back off from doing face-to-face learning. By the time we get there, I don't see how.
The union and what's called the opening committee have been fighting the president. The union is I think they got a lawyer at this point. One of the faculty members from our Long Island campus wrote a letter to Cuomo and said, "Please step in here and stop our president from forcing us to do this and risking our lives."
Yeah, thank you.
A student, we had a dance. Yeah, exactly. We had a dance student that wrote in. I mean, he totally attacked our president, saying, you're just concerned about your own salary and keeping the school open. And I mean, he said all kinds of which he shouldn't have said, but he just should have stuck with the point. But
he's going to be the last one that loses his salary.
Right. Exactly.
Right. I mean, the captain's going to be the last one to keep getting a paycheck. Yeah. Anyway, well, welcome back. It's so good to see you all again. My dear wife cleaned out our bookcase, so now I have availability to other ideas for plays that were buried behind books. So And as we cleaned it out, Mel, I found another great monologue for you. It's
Hey, good.
from this play called Peter and Alice, and it's Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan in their senior years.
Oh, how wonderful.
I love Alice Wonderland. I just love it. I think it's just the phenomenal, the craziest story.
Yeah. It's a really good play. What do you call it? The premier British actress. What's her name? Come on. Judi Dench originated.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, it's good. So I'm going to send that to you this week. So and as I go through the new plays and find new stuff, I'll send you guys some new stuff too. And some of you have new stuff that we're all doing and starting on. So that's great. I just want to start before we get going. I just want to see if there's anything specific this semester. Do we call it a semester? This session. Is there's anything specific you guys have in mind based on what you've done in the past that you want to do and work on? John, do you have anything? I know what you're going to do, but do you have any other issues that you want to work on or that you feel you need to work on?
No, I think just
keep on the
I
same
think the
track.
last session was I think the last session was for me was really productive.
It was for all of us. So great.
Yeah. And I feel like I just want to keep building on that and deepening and getting more and more real and connected and.
Good. We're going to work on your villains this time, right? We're going to. Yay! Yeah. You're ready to be a great villain. I can't wait. Well, and the head of a department chair, there's a villain right there. Thank God you don't have like 15 people under you. I mean, Julius Caesar is the perfect thing to do as a college faculty. I mean, you could frame that whole play with a horrible, like a Julius Caesar kind of leader.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
I'll tell you, it's all this talk about academia. This is why I love Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf so much, because
I love that play.
So much of that, of course, it's the personal stuff that's happening, but a lot of it has to do with, the academia in their lives.
Yeah. Well,
and the effect it has on them.
You would be an effective George too. So I mean, you did something from that way back, right? Like 2 years ago.
I probably should bring that back again. Yeah.
You should bring that back again. That would be fun. Cindy, what about you? You got any issues you want to work on this session?
Well, I was, excuse me, for tonight I got Jimmy Dean, come back from 5 and Dine. And then I think John and Vasily and I were going to do the 3-person scene from Shadowbox. If you've got any hints on what you can do to memorize easier, because boy, this Jimmy Dean one, between the accent and having to learn the whole thing from scratch, it's been a little more of a challenge than some of the other, although I guess I've been living with the other show for I don't know how many years.
Yeah. Do you have a copy of my book, right? Do you still have it? Do you have a copy of my book?
I sure do. It's right over here.
Well, there's two chapters. There's 2 chapters. Thank you. There's 2 chapters on creative ways to learn your lines other than the way you've done them for the rest of your life.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I guess I have to read those again.
Right, you should read over them. I think the most effective one, at least for me, because I'm a game player, I like to play games, is the cards. With you create a question that your first line or first 2 lines in the monologue is an answer to, and you put it on the other side of the card, and then when you come to another, then when you've completely answered that question, then you create another question that the next line or the next 3 lines or the next 4 lines is the answer to. And so you put the question on one side of the card and you put the answer, which is your monologue, on the other side of the card, right? And so what you're doing in creating the question is you're creating a bigger world around learning your lines, which is always the best thing to learn your lines. If you're specifically just trying to cram them in your head, that's what I think is counterproductive. I think you need to have a bigger world around it. You need to create the experience around it and then get them from there. And then there's another method too. So check it out. And then I can answer any questions, but try playing that game because the great thing about the game on the cards is once you get it and you think you know your monologue, then you shuffle the cards and do them out of order, you know, because they're all based on individual thoughts and individual things, and then you feel like you're more in control of it as you go along. So it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Creating the game and playing the game. So yeah, we can definitely do that.
Cool.
Okay, cool. How about you, Vasily?
The
You got
monologue
any-
you gave me?
Yeah. I gave Vasily a monologue from a play called The Visit that maybe some of you know. There was a musical made of it.
Yeah.
Most recently, a Kander and Ebb musical that it's about this really powerful lady who returns to a town to settle some old scores, and she scares the shit out of the whole town. It's a great little piece. Cheetah Rivera played the woman.
I love her.
John and I went to see it.
Did you see it?
Yeah, we did.
Ah, that's where you knew about it, right?
Mhm. But it was kind of a, my sense about the play, because the way they did it was kind of
Well, the
too much.
musical.
Yeah, the musical. I mean, the whole story was representing kind of dark story in a way.
Well, it's a pretty dark story.
But then, I went to Lancaster. John, can you put headphones on, because I can hear my voice? I'm sorry. What I was going to say,
I went to Lancaster.
what I read about the play, originally the playwright planned this as a comedy. Yes, that's right. Because he was ridiculing the society at that time.
Uh-huh.
And it's so funny because really, and then I remember it, that like 35 years ago, we had a Russian movie, The Visit.
Ah.
Yeah, they showed the Russian version of the movie, and I just like, oh, hold on, just let me see.
Uh-huh.
And I went online on YouTube. There was a Russian movie, The Visit, and I looked at it. And of course, I know all these actors who play
Sure.
and how funny. And they did a very interesting thing. They took the whole story. They used the whole words, the same words, and everything. They kind of mixed up with the contemporary life.
Uh-huh. So they updated it. They updated it.
They updated it in a way because it was a reflection of the Soviet Union, what was going on at that time.
Right.
Because it was falling apart. And when I watched it just a little bit, and I thought to myself, this is just genius what they did, because it was really funny.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt. That's why I felt like, that story should be done as a comedy.
So was this play? Was it done so long ago before Putin came to power? Came back.
Yeah,
into
long
power?
before. It was done in 1989,
Yeah.
right before the Soviet Union fell apart.
Ah, so it was when Brezhnev was there and those people. And
No, not Brezhnev. Gorbachev. Gorbachev was there.
That's what I call the golden age of Russia, really. Gorbachev, to me, was sort of the golden age. God, and John's sitting there nodding, and I'm thinking how much he looks like Gorbachev.
Yes.
He doesn't have the map on his forehead, though.
Right.
All he needs is the birthmark, I mean,
Yeah,
Really?
the map.
do you guys see it, or is
Yeah.
it just me?
Yeah, no, I see it.
I never
He
thought of
does,
it.
Yeah.
I never thought of it.
Maybe that's why Vasily's so attracted to me.
Could be.
I don't think so. Not because of that.
Well, whenever they do the Gorbachev story, I'm ready.
Well, he really,
if you accidentally put that birthmark in you, I'm going to be scared away.
well, he really was the only Russian leader since I've been alive that had a brain.
Right.
That really wasn't just about power and control. It was he had some wisdom to him. I mean, Jesus.
But Russian people didn't appreciate it very much. Like,
because
25 years later, they didn't appreciate that.
2,000 years of dictators, and then you find somebody who has some modicum of idea that there are people out there beside their own power. Of course, they're going to be upset.
Right. It's like the Trump supporters here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. They're really it's their reaction to being so upset about Obama. They're still upset about Obama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So and I want and I just want. Yeah, there you go.
That's you, John.
Yeah, John, take your glasses off for a minute. Right now, yeah. Look at, oh, especially when he's smiling. Look at it. Say, the cheeks are very similar. Oh my God. Look at that. That's
Gorbachev that lost his weight.
yeah, well, yeah.
Well, there's a role out there waiting for me.
There is, absolutely. And you know, in the solo show thing, I mean, that would be another really interesting solo show, would be a show about Gorbachev. Nobody's thought of that.
And I have Russia right here in my apartment, so I have plenty
There
of
you go.
research right here.
Yeah. Maybe by helping him with his
a Russian invasion, right?
maybe with him helping you with your Russian dialect, he could maintain the American dialect even better, so that you're both working on clarity.
And it works great on Zoom because it's a one-man show.
Yep, absolutely. That's what we're doing. I also want to say to you, Vasily, that you made such great progress on doing the exercise that you hate so much for 10 minutes, or whatever. I want you to keep doing that on all the work that you're doing. And because I really saw a difference. And I think if you continue to use that exercise and do it as much as you can stand it, I don't want you to hate doing it. Stop when it's not fun anymore. Well, it's probably never fun, but stop when you can't stand it anymore. I don't want it to become a thing, but I do want it to become sort of part of your progress, because the result of what you're able to accomplish is significant. So I just want to put that in.
I just, from the last session, what I learned about and I discovered about myself, it's just, it's my personal psychological thing that I have to find the way how to work it out.
Yeah.
Because, either way, it doesn't really matter what technical stuff you might have that can can create some obstacles to learn lines or create a character, whatever. But whatever your experience you had before in your life, one way or another, it affects you. It can affect you for the rest of your life. If you realize that and you can sort it out, it can help. Yeah. So, but that's what I learned about myself.
Yeah, that's great. And so take advantage of that knowledge. As a young actor, I had an issue that my best acting teacher, God rest her soul, got me out of this habit, was that I used my brow, right? I used my brow a lot to act. And she said, it's bad. It's insincere. It's not. You usually use your brow when you're lying, or you're trying a little hard. And I had the hardest time. Well, you can see. I don't know if you guys can see. The lines are still there. I mean, they're just they're etched in there from my 20s when I used it so much, and I was able to defeat it two ways. And maybe this will help you. Is one way was that in real life, I was conscious of it. Mm-hmm. In other words, I would catch myself in real life, and I'd stop doing. And in my work, what I thought of was when I'm speaking, it's going from my gut through my mouth. My forehead doesn't have anything to do with it. So again, when I tell you that you have to think of positive things. You can't think of, no, don't lift your brow. That will never work. What can I do positively to keep my brow out of it? Was I talk from my gut through my mouth, and my brow doesn't get involved. And eventually, by working on it in real life and then working on it in my acting life, I was able to get rid of it in about 3 months.
Could I add something to that?
Sure.
Yeah, it just said, because I had this experience too with the eyes. About 20 years ago, I was studying, I think I mentioned this to you, with a woman named Christine Lavrin. I met her through the School for Film and Television, but she was teaching acting classes too. And one day she pointed out that when I act, I squint my eyes a lot.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
She said, she said, you gotta stop. And I guess it was my way of like being intense,
Yes.
So I don't know. And I'm pointing that out because I don't know if you still see that. If I still do that too much, or,
I've never recognized the problem.
Okay, good.
I think you have solved it. But what I'm saying is that you can attack it on an everyday front too. and John can really annoy you if you want to. You know, if you come in and say something to him and you make one word out of 3 words, John can have fun with you. Go back and go, oh, really? Is that what you meant? Instead of, well, really, is that what you meant? You know what I'm saying? And you guys can hate each other in new ways. You know.
No, I got very conscious about that because once you tell me what is going on, because I think I got very accustomed to the American accent.
Yes.
And you know, and I'm kind of exposed to American accent, American English, you know, almost 99%. You know, it's constantly there. But even though actually sometimes it helps, I've been watching a lot of British TV series.
Oh, that's great.
Jolly good, Vasil.
Yes. You know, the British, they always say every word.
Every damn word.
Every bloody word.
That's right. Even with a long word like cock sucking, you know, they don't make that. They make that 2 words because they want you to understand what you're saying.
Right.
Yes.
And I have to tell you, I just actually recently finished watching Dr. Foster, which is amazing TV series. It's on Netflix with Seren Jones, who played Gentleman Jack on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. I really loved it. So I'm just trying to get John to watch this too. So, and I'm actually suggesting to all of you to watch that. So, and she's so great, and of course the British and everything, and intensity and clarity. I was so glued to this, and I finished all this 10 episodes for 2 days. I couldn't even stop it.
Uh-huh. Well, that's great. I think that's a great thing for you to do. And be aware of it while you're watching it is the key.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, sometimes I listen into particular expressions or the way it was said, this line or that line, I repeat them after it was said.
That's
just,
wonderful.
You know, just, it feels like, you know, it's so captivative or kind of got me or something. Let me try to do this, even though it might be not very British or whatever. I don't care at this point. But
what was that word? Captivated? Is that what you said?
Captivated. Captivating or captivated?
No, captivating.
Captivating.
Yes, captivating.
Captivating.
Yep, there's a lot of syllables in there. Okay, cool. All right, so I got that out. Great. So, Anj, how about you? We got any issues you want to work on?
Just to get more confident and not to rush, because I noticed on my playbacks that I rush a lot, and it's because I'm nervous, and it's like, okay, I gotta get the fuck off the stage because I'm boring everybody. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and that's like the worst thing, because you're not. First of all, you're not, and secondly, you know, I mean, that's your own image of watching yourself, and you gotta subtract your point of view about watching your own image. You have to subtract that. And you have to look at your own image as if it's another person and another character, which is what we're trying to do anyway.
Right.
Right.
But I realize that I rush. I rush when I'm nervous.
Yeah.
And my words get garbled and yeah. So that's what I want to work on.
So like when we first started working together, Anj, your protection was dramatic, remember?
Yes.
Right. What kept you safe was dramatic protection. If you were you were overly dramatic, and that's what wasn't working. It wasn't really connecting. And you've defeated that. And what I'm saying to you is, no, you have. You have such a natural approach to what you're doing now that I'm so proud of you for making that switch. But like I always say, as soon as you discover one protection and solve it, your mind still wants to protect you. So then you start doing something else. And now now you've changed, and now you're pacing protected, meaning that you have to do it really quickly, or you know, it doesn't feel right to you. And so you're not connecting in the moment. You're connecting with that little voice in your head that's protecting you, says, just get off the stage, Anj, and maybe no one will notice that you can't act. That's what your mind is telling you, right? Right? No, maybe no one will notice if I leave quickly, you know, and you see what a protection that is, you know. So what I'm saying, so we won't lose the other. I don't think you'll ever be dramatic protected again. And this we'll work on that this term a lot. Okay.
So I'm going to bring back. Well, we're doing the scene with Mel, and then I'm going to the first read for the actress. My name is Alice. I thought.
Oh yeah. Oh, did you like the French monologue?
Yeah, it's not. Well, the song is in French, right?
Yes.
then
No,
the
but the monologue I sent you is I sent you the monologue, right?
Yeah, it's not in French though. It's.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah. That monologue's great.
But the point is, she's not French either.
Right. Exactly.
She's German.
Right. Right. So I just would like to try it tonight.
Oh, that'll be great. I can't wait for them to hear this. It's such a funny piece.
And it's been fun working with Mel this week. It's hard not to like get out of character and laugh because she's so good.
Oh, well, So Mel, hi. What are your issues? Do you have any new issues you want to work on?
So many of them, so many. Well, like Ange, I need to get more confidence in myself. I need to.
I can't give you that. Only you can give you that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, oh dear, what was I thinking? I need to learn to play more.
Good.
And
Great.
And in doing that, I'm hoping that I will cease to worry about being so bad and being.
I'm playing. It doesn't matter whether I get it exactly right or not. I'm playing.
Right. Exactly.
Right? And playing is a great diversion to develop your confidence, because if you're, it's almost like when you were a kid and playing guns with people. You're very confident because you're playing this game. You're not. Am I not going to do this? No, you never worry whether you're going to do it right or not. You're always right when you're playing, and I think that's a very great. It's a really good antidote to fear. Play is a great antidote.
It's hard to get there.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, the caveat is that you have to know your stuff so well that you can play.
Yes.
That's the caveat.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the ugly caveat. It's the antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium thing.
I tend to. I block myself, which is so.
What do you mean when you say you block yourself?
Stage fright.
Whoop, you're frozen. Wait a minute. Okay, there you go. You're frozen again. You're not supposed to be frozen. Yeah, now you're okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry. I got new internet. Am I frozen?
And you still frozen?
You did for a moment. Was it just me, or did she freeze?
No, she froze.
The sound went funny for me.
Yeah, the sound too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh well.
I just got optimum.
Okay.
Am I back?
I think you're
Is
back. I can't tell. No, not really. Why don't you log off and come back one more time?
Okay, I may go downstairs to see if it's better there. Okay.
All right, we'll be back. We'll see you in a second. Okay.
And I forgot to say, John and I are going one more round with the Beverly Bryan death scene.
You are going to go one more round?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Have you worked on it in the last 2 weeks? Or was it just 2 days ago or a day ago?
We met actually last night.
Yeah.
We went through it.
But then we met earlier in the week because we did the scene with Vasily, and you and I ran the scene again. Our
right.
Scene.
Okay, good. All right. I just don't want you cramming before class.
Oh, no. That wasn't the only time. But the last time we did it was last night.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Good. All righty. So let's wait till Mel gets back, and then we'll get started here. She should be coming back any moment now. She was just bragging about her internet. I guess that just goes to show you shouldn't brag.
It worked well on the other day when we were together when she first got it. It was great.
Yeah.
Was she
Yeah.
in the same room?
Yeah, she was.
Oh.
Huh.
Also, Vasily, I'll let you know. I'll let you know about Tuesday night, but Tuesday might be the solo show class. I might need you to set that up. I don't know yet. I think I've got 2, maybe 3 students. So I don't need a lot of students. I don't take more than 5 in that class anyway, because it's a writing class, and I want to make sure everybody gets their shot at it. Anj, didn't you tell me once that you had somebody that was?
Yes, and I spoke to him last night. He's having a lot of family issues of his daughter and his wife both being sick.
Oh.
So I spoke to him last night. He really wants to do it. He's got this whole idea he was telling me about. And so he said, when I'm ready, he said he's going to call you.
Okay. Well, hopefully if this session starts on Tuesday night, which I hope it will, then it'll be another 5 weeks and I'll start a new session.
Yeah.
So.
Did someone by the name of Patty call you? Because I saw her like last week and she was telling me that she had this idea for a play. And I told her about you. I gave her all the information. So she said, I gave her the information.
Okay, well, that's great. Thanks. I appreciate all of your support.
Yeah.
And Cindy, thank you so much for getting it out on the Cleveland PAL line.
Oh, you're welcome. Actually, I sent both of them. I'm still waiting to see the second one. It might just not have come to me, so I'm going to go to his website. When I find it, I'll send it over to you.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that class, the second session of acting by mistake, I had one person and I didn't get any bites on that, so I just let it slide for a couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so who wants to start tonight? Let's start with Cindy and John's scene from Shadowbox. Let's start with that tonight. Okay.
Okay.
Sound good?
Second.
It's a little too much of a close-up, though, Cindy. It's.
Perfect.
Yes. It's a lovely.
Yes, well, that's Beverly for you.
It's a lovely locket you have on. Yes.
Sorry about that.
Nah, that's all right. That's fine. Okay. All right.
You're talking about your guys' scene or me included at this point?
No, this is just. Have the 3 of you rehearsed?
Yes, we did.
We went through the scene.
Once, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. All right. Well, we might get to that tonight. So because we don't have Eric, so that might allow you guys a little more time to do that tonight.
Sure.
I just sort of want to wait till Mel comes back because I don't want you to get interrupted by her new intrusion into the scene.
Should we text her?
Does anybody have her phone?
Yeah, I can.
Ask her if she's all right.
Okay. Oh shit.
Mel, she's lost in the internet. Oh no.
Right.
Lost in the wilderness, right? Stephen Schwartz.
It was bloody lost.
It's ringing.
Good.
Picking up.
Hey,
Wow.
it's Ange. Are you all right? Okay. 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 All right. Oh, okay. Okay. So what, 2 minutes? Okay. All right. All right. Bye-bye. Okay. She's moving everything to another room near the modem.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right. That's what I thought that's what's going on.
I know. That's a funny thing. I have sat sometimes. I'm right on top of my modem, and I get 2 bars on my phone. I don't understand how that works.
You're right on top of your modem. There's a joke there.
No, really. I'm about maybe, I don't know, 3 feet from it.
Somebody,
I don't have 2 bars on the phone. That's just,
somebody email me quick.
I'm glad you said
there's
it.
like dead spot. Maybe there's a dead spot where she was.
Well, Cindy, don't keep playing the straight man for me.
This is being recorded.
Yes. Oh my God.
Anything could be used against you.
Oh God, I hate that sentence.
No, I know.
Especially
So-
when you're in traffic court in front of a crazy judge and you want to plead no contest, and she goes, "I'm not taking that." Excuse me?
Really?
It seems to me, isn't there something in the Constitution that gives you the right to plead the way you want? But apparently they have a choice not to take that.
Is that right? Well, I once had a crazy one too. I had Judge Thomasina Thompson. That was her name.
Car.
She was like she was on television. You know, I didn't. Mr. Roudebush, do you know what a yellow light means? And I went, yeah, you better either stop or get through it awful quick. No, yellow means stop, Mr. Roudebush.
Oh my
No,
God.
it means proceed with caution, I think, doesn't it?
No, not according to Judge Thomasina Thompson.
Well, Pinky Carr, the one I have, she didn't want to shut down her courtroom even when the governor shut down the courthouse.
Wow.
And she was issuing warrants for arrest for people that weren't showing up.
Yeah.
So then they called her on it, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know when I pressed the button that would happen." Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, Mel.
Oh,
Oh, his name is Irving Schmidt.
Oh, no.
right now.
Mel is now done in for the evening. She said you moved all her.
I moved closer to the modem, which meant I had to move everything downstairs. So
Well, you look and sound fabulous. So we're going
Yeah,
to
you
start.
got great lights.
We're going to start now. We're going to start with John and Cindy's scene from Shadow.
okay, great.
Okay,
Good.
here we go.
Thank you.
Caro, you old fart. Vieni qua.
Sweet Jesus. Beverly.
My God, he even remembers my name. What a mind.
What a picture.
All my medals, all of them. I wore as many as I could fit,
Fantastic.
as much as I could carry. I tried to get x-rays done, but there wasn't time. Inside and out. I'll strip later and show you all of it.
Good, good. Oh, I'm so happy you've come. What a surprise. Well, where's Mark? Have you met him?
Oh, yes, he's beautiful. A little cool, but I'm sure there's a heart in there somewhere.
Well, where is he?
Well, he's gone.
What?
It's my fault. I made a very sloppy entrance. I think he left in lieu of punching me in the mouth.
I don't believe it.
It's true. But I do like him.
Good. So do I.
So I gather.
Careful,
Is he any good?
Beverly.
Well, what's it like?
It?
Him, you, it. Oh, come on. You know I'm a glutton for pornography. Tell me everything.
No.
No?
Absolutely not. No, I refuse to discuss it.
Oh, Brian, that's not fair. Here I am all damp in my panties, and you're changing the subject. Now, come on, tell me all.
No, absolutely not. I'm much too happy.
My gosh. My line just went up.
What? You just went up, you say?
Yeah,
You
I
just
know
went
that.
blank?
I just went blank.
That's great.
Why is that great?
Because you were in the right place, Cindy. Because you were in the right place. That's why. I've always been a little suspicious of you in this scene because you very rarely make a mistake or very rarely go up, which to me, as a teacher of what I'm trying to teach you, means that you're still protecting yourself a little bit. And I felt that this time through, I went, wow, she's really not protecting herself. She's really just there.
And that's why.
And that's why you forgot your line. And that's why we should always try to do that, is to try to not be afraid of missing your line, to always stay connected. So that's why it's a good thing.
Okay.
I gave Vasily. I'm sorry, Bill. Go ahead. I gave Vasily the script. If we want to just call line.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So great. So let's start. Yeah, let's start it again. Okay, let's start it again. All right.
Starting. Okay.
So I just want to give you one note, Cindy, on the start again, right? In other words, that the character's in an uncomfortable situation. So what's happening to her emotionally that she can't control is she doesn't quite know what to say. Right? And so being who she is as a character, the easiest thing for her to talk about is sex.
Okay.
You know, and so that becomes the icebreaker. It was there must be something in the sexual relationship between the two of you that makes you feel really comfortable, that you guys used to kid about sex a lot. In other words, this becomes an easy out for her in a situation where she really is quite nervous about what to say, and so she doesn't know what's going to come out, but what comes out is the most comfortable thing for her. If that makes any sense.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. I never thought about it that way. That's great. Okay.
Okay, well, I never thought about it that way either. Otherwise, I would have told you sooner. But you were really there, so lad, that's why you screwed up. So let's keep doing that. All right, here we go. Start it again.
Caro, you old fart. Vieni qua.
Sweet Jesus. Beverly.
Oh my God, he even remembers my name. What a mind.
What a picture.
All my medals, all of them. I wore as many as I could fit.
Oh, fantastic.
As much as I could carry. I tried to get x-rays done, but there wasn't time. Inside and out, I'll strip later and show you all of it.
Good, good. Oh, I'm so happy you've come. What a surprise. Oh, where's Mark? Have you met him?
Oh, yes. He's beautiful. A little cool, but I'm sure there's a heart in there somewhere.
Where is he?
Well, he's gone.
What?
It's my fault. I made a very sloppy entrance. I think he left and they were punching me in the mouth.
I don't believe it.
Well, it's true. But I do like him.
Good. So do I.
So I gather.
Careful.
Is he any good?
Beverly.
Well, what's it like?
It?
Him, you, it. Oh, you know I'm a glutton for pornography. Tell me quick.
No.
No?
No, I absolutely not. I absolutely refuse to discuss it.
Oh, Brian, that's not fair. Here I am all damp in my panties and you're changing the subject. Come on, tell me everything.
Absolutely not. I'm much too happy.
Brian, I was married to you. I deserve an explanation. Isn't that what I'm supposed to say?
Yes, but you're too late. No explanations, no excuses. He is my sunshine, my only sunshine. He's pardon the expression, cream in my coffee, the milk in my tea. He will always be my necessity.
But easy enough.
More than enough.
Shucks.
Sorry, but it's out of my hands, all of it. And in the absence of any refutable tomorrow, every insane thing that I do today seems to make a great deal of sense.
What the hell does that mean?
It means there are more important things in this world.
More important than what?
More important than worrying about who is fucking whom.
Oh, you are happy, aren't you?
Ecstatic. I even started writing again.
Oh my God, you couldn't be that happy.
Why not?
Brian, you're a terrible writer and you know it.
So?
I mean, outside of that wonderful little book of crossword puzzles, your greatest contribution to the literary world was your retirement.
My retirement, yes. Well, the literary world, such as it is, will have to brave the storm because I'm back.
But why?
Pure and unadulterated masochism. No, it's just that when they told me I was on the way out, so to speak, I realized there was a lot to do that I hadn't done yet. So I figured I'd better get off my ass and start working.
Doing what?
Oh, everything. Everything. It's amazing what you could accomplish. 2 rotten novels, 27 boring stories, several volumes of tortured verse, including 12 Italian sonnets and 1 epic investigation of the Firth of Forth Bridge.
The what?
The bridge in Scotland, the railroad bridge in Scotland. The one the Hitchcock used in the 39 Steps. You remember, we saw the picture on our honeymoon.
Oh, yes.
And I swore that one day I was going to do a poem about it. Well, I've done it.
Thank God.
400 stanzas. Trochaic hexameters with rhymed couplets. Da 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 da. Oh, it's perfectly ghastly, but it's done. I've also completed nearly 136 epitaphs, the largest contribution to the Forest Lawn catalog since Edna St. Vincent Millay. I've also done 4 autobiographies.
4?
Each one under a different name. Oh, there's a huge market for dying people right now. My agent assured me.
Oh, I don't believe it.
It's true. And then we thought that we'd give them each one of those insipid, dirty titles like Sex and the Dying Man.
Or the sensuous corpse.
Very good.
You idiot. What else?
Not too much. They had me on this medication for a while, which made my vision double. I couldn't really see to write, so I started to paint.
Paint.
Pictures. I did 14 of them. Really extraordinary stuff. I mean, I was impressed. I mean, you know, I can't draw a straight line, but with my vision all cockeyed, I could do a bowl of fruit that sent people screaming from the room.
I can believe it. So now you're painting.
No, they changed my medication. Now all the fruit just looks like fruit again. But I did learn to drive.
A car.
Yes.
Good grief.
Well, not very well, but with a certain style and sufficient accuracy to keep myself alive. But that is beside the point, isn't it? Let's see, what else? I've become a master at chess, poker, and mahjong. I finally bought a television set. I sold the house and everything that was in it. I closed all my bank accounts, got rid of all my stocks, bonds, securities, everything.
What did you do with the money?
I put it in a sock and buried it on Staten Island.
You did, didn't you?
Almost. I gave back my American Express card, my Bank AmeriCard, severed all my patriotic connections. I even closed my account at Bloomingdale's.
This is serious.
You're damn right it is. I sleep only 3 hours a day. I never miss a dawn or a sunset. I say and do everything that comes into my head. I even wrote letters to everyone I know and told them exactly what I think of them, just so none of the wrong people show up at the funeral. And finally, I went to Passaic, New Jersey.
Oh, for God's sakes, why?
Because I had no desire to go there.
And why go?
Because I wanted to be absolutely sure I had no desire to go there.
And now you know.
Oh, yes. I stayed at a Holiday Inn for 2 weeks and had all my meals at Howard Johnson.
Jesus, you've really gone the limit.
Oh, believe me, Passaic is beyond the limit. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. Every day and every way, I get smaller and smaller. There's practically nothing left of me.
You're disappearing right before my very eyes.
Good. You see, the only way to beat this thing is to leave absolutely nothing behind. I don't want to leave anything unsaid, undone. Not a word, not a lonely, obscure, silly, worthless thought. I want it all wrapped up, all of it. Well, that's not too much to ask, is it?
No.
That's what I thought. Then I can happily leap into my coffin and call it a day. Lie down, close my eyes, shut my mouth, and disappear into eternity.
As easy as that.
Like falling off a log. It shows, doesn't it?
You're shaking.
I can't help it. I'm scared to death.
It's a lot to deal with.
No, not really. I mean, all this is easy. Pain, discomfort, that's all a part of living. And I'm just as alive now as I ever was. And I'll be alive until the very last moment. That's the hard part. That last fraction of a second when you know that the next fraction of a second, I can't quite seem to fit that part into my life. You're absolutely alone in an absolute unknown, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it except give in.
That's exactly how I felt the first time I lost my virginity.
Well, how was it the second time?
Much easier.
There, you see? The real trouble with dying is you only get to do it once.
I brought you some champagne.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must be the most tedious person alive.
Well, thank God you won't be around much longer.
Well, I hope you don't think that I'm going to pass away drunk. I intend to be cold sober.
Oh, no. I thought we could break in on your ass and shove you on a great bon voyage, confetti and streamers all over the grave.
Perfect. Oh, I've missed your foolishness.
You hated my foolishness.
I didn't understand it.
Neither did I. But it was the only way I knew.
Well, all these roads, they all go to Rome, as they say.
Yes, but why is it I always seem to end up in Naples?
Great. Boy. It's really good work for both of you. Really good work. Really good work. It's a great little scene, and you two have really grasped it and gotten a lot of stuff out of it. You should both be proud of your work in this section. It's really nice. Cindy, you're listening with a point of view is really starting to work. You know, I mean, I could see it in different places, and John was actually using it. You know, he was actually making some of his transitions off of the silences and where you were before that silence. I don't know if that's true, but it's what it's looked like on Zoom to me. That's what it looked like. That's the great part, again, about Zoom is I can be close on both of you at the same time and see the activity. John, just a couple notes. When you say no in the beginning, you really have to mean no. You can't just say it. You know, she's asking you a couple of things and you go no, no. You really have to embrace that word.
Well, that's when she wants all the sexy details.
Right. No. You know, I mean, is a real no, not just a line no, you know. It's strange. The word no is oftentimes passed over so easily by an actor in a scene because it's so self-explanatory. But usually when we say no, there's always something deeper behind it, you know, like, no, I'm not, no, don't go, no, don't go. You know, I mean, there's what's going through me right now is deeper behind it than just saying the word. And it's a really minor little quibble, but it's also a really good point that you guys should know. When you see the word no, there's always something behind a no, you know? I mean, there's always something behind a no. Don't you think? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I had this friend, I haven't talked to him in years, but he was an insurance agent, and his premise was, when he sold insurance, was that everybody likes to say no. So when he sold insurance to somebody, he would go, can you give me any reason why you might not want to be secure in your senior years? And the person would go, no. Right? And what the person is really saying is, yes, I want to buy some insurance. But he showed me how to do, and I forget how to do it. He said, I can take anything and get you to say no, and you're going to feel better after you say no. And I'm really getting you to say yes by you saying no. Anyway, but no is an important word, should never be glossed over. Anytime you see it in a script, you should take a serious look at the word no, because we either love to say it, or we really don't want somebody to go there. You know, there's always something deeper behind it.
Yeah, and it was, for me, it was just like, she just came in the room. She's already starting again with the same old shit.
Yeah, you see that? See, John, that's great. And so that no has a history to it, right? You're saying she's already starting again, so that no has a history to it, and that's what it was missing for me.
Okay.
Right.
All right. You know what happened? Yeah, I think for some reason, I was forgetting the lines there too at that point. I think that's the hesitation you were hearing. I just.
Okay.
But
and Mel's just going, oh, that fucking Bill.
No. I'm glad you said that. No. That's a really important point, though, and I appreciate that. That's
it's great. Well, you know, what's great about this is that I can be really, really picky about it. John, the songs were great. It was totally out of your nervousness of the situation and what was going on in the conversation. Absolutely beautifully realized. I thought it was great. Cindy, it's out of my hands. What's out of my hands?
That was my line.
That's his line. Yeah, but in listening to him and the way she thinks, is he's talking about what's it in reference to? It's out of my hands now. Talking about something sexual.
Well, the rest of that line is like, anything I say seems to make a great deal of sense.
Yeah. It's out of my hands, all of it. And in the absence of any refutable tomorrow, any insane thing I do today seems to make a great deal of sense. Yeah.
But she could see that, listening to it, as a joke. It's out of my hands, you know.
Well, the next thing I say, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah. Exactly. But in the listening to it, she sort of, in the world that she's in, she sort of hears a sexual joke in a place where there's no sexual joke. I'm not saying that it is a sexual joke. I'm saying John did it perfectly. But in listening to him, it's like when a gay man says it's out of his hands, there's a joke there for somebody who's attuned to who she was and what the whole relationship is. Anyway.
Okay.
It might not be right, but I just heard it. So what's the, John, this is great. Here's the key. You have a line that goes, so? What is that in reference to?
Oh, that's when she says, you're not a good writer. Why would you be writing it?
Yeah.
So really what the so means is, so what do I have to lose?
Right. That's what I was thinking. Right. Yeah.
But what's the big one? Which is something that you never had before as a person, right? I think lousy writers are lousy writers, and in most part because they feel they don't have permission to write. Like they are a bad writer. They're too hard on their own writing. I was that way for many, many, many years. And so when you're dying, and it's like, so what's the difference now? And so everything else would follow through really nicely after that. I wrote 4 autobiographies, right? That's the first time I ever heard that line.
Oh, really?
I know you've been saying it, but it's the first time I ever heard that line. And it made me sort of consider.
Vasily, can you give me the script?
What?
Yeah, each one under a different name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 4?
Four. You wrote 4 autobiographies.
Four. Yeah.
Right. I gotta think he's
I've
fucking
also-
around. I gotta think he's fucking around there. I really do. I gotta think he's fucking around there.
Uh-huh.
It's just,
You really don't think he did that?
well, what I'm saying to you, that both characters are nervous underneath everything that's going on. Both characters are nervous and looking to lighten up the situation when they can have an opportunity to do that, to get them both through this uncomfortable conversation.
So that could be a big joke. Oh, and I've also done 4 autobiographies.
Yeah,
In addition to
exactly.
everything
Yeah.
else.
Okay.
Yes, and we named them. We gave them all dirty titles too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying there.
Yeah.
Be Alive, John Absurd even wrote letters. What is that? Then you say even more absurd. I even wrote letters. What is that?
Oh, that's I even wrote letters to everyone. I say and do everything that comes into my head. I even wrote letters to everyone I know and tell them exactly what I think of them.
Yeah.
So none of the wrong people show up for the funeral.
Yeah. That's great. See, and I think the 4 autobiographies comes just before that, if I'm not correct.
Well, we got the insipid. So the sensuous corpse. What else?
Yeah.
What do you say after what else?
That comes a little while later.
The sensuous corpse. Yeah. The whole painting section.
Yeah.
Comes before that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, is it sort of sets up that great section of absurdity.
Okay.
And the absurd things that you're saying in many cases has to do with hiding the truth that's underneath it all. John, I'll be alive till, what is that line? Be alive till.
I'm just as alive now as I ever was, and I'll be alive until the very last moment, until that last moment, right up to the last moment.
Yeah, that was a stunning moment. It was really great. I really loved that moment.
Oh, good.
It was
I'm glad.
so honest. And Cindy, you have a line toward the end. Neither did I. What is that in reference to?
He said, I missed your foolishness. I said, and he says, I said, you hated my foolishness. I never understood it. Neither did I. But that's the only way I knew.
Yeah, and I think that has to be a pure confession.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
The only way she knew she couldn't say.
Yeah, exactly. And I think she can tell that he's really truth-telling in this point. Right, and I think you're both through this uncomfortable section. You both get through this uncomfortable section, and as a wonderful contrast that you have a section where you're both just unmasking all your uncomfortable nature and using the past. And I think that has got to, I never understood why I was such a foolish asshole either. And is a pure confession, as opposed to playing with him. Neither did I. You know what I mean? I think it's like, honey, neither did I. And let's at least tear all these walls down.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
And I think when he says I never understood it, in my mind, he's saying, I didn't really understand you then, and I wish I had understood you more.
Yeah.
Because maybe things would have been better.
Exactly, and like I say, through all of this sort of, both characters are protecting themselves with their humor and their absurdity in the context of here, and then there's got to be a point where the protections all drop out and it's pure, and that's exactly what we're talking about right there.
It's interesting because I had recently a couple of weeks ago or more. I had Barbara and I started to talk about. It was similar to this.
Yeah.
We started reflecting on the past, and because it came out of that moment. Remember, I said she had a friend that left. He was an alcoholic, and he started to a little violent with that whole thing. And I stayed with her for a few days to make sure he didn't cut. So it was within that time that we started to talk. And then it was just interesting that we started to reflect on the past and things that when we were married, she told me she felt about my behavior or whatever it was I was doing. And I was like, really? I did that? You know, that's, you know, I wanted to have more. We didn't, for some reason, we got into something else and we didn't, but I wanted to know more about how she was perceiving whatever I was doing at that point.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because as I watched you develop this character, John, I always felt in the back of my mind, although I never said it because it would sort of been inappropriate for me to bring it up, was that the relationship you had with Barbara was you were pulling from that in this scene.
There are so many parallels.
I told Cindy that she looks a lot, not exactly, but like when Barbara was younger, she looks a lot the same. Barbara had long dark hair, like you know, although Cindy's Jewish, she also has a very Italian look. You know, she's got this, you know, so Barbara had this kind of, so when I look at Cindy, it so much reminds me of Barbara.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great.
I had no idea about any of this when we started this. And then you started telling me these things and I'm like, oh my God, the parallels are unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad that I felt that and felt that underneath, and I felt it was a real driving force for you.
Yeah,
a
lot to pull from. Yeah, I want to ask you a question too about this scene, because in my mind, you know, I don't want to project where the scene should go because of course we have to play. But part of me thinks that maybe he should, especially when he really gets down to the nitty gritty and starts to talk about why he's shaking and what's you know, that would this be a thing you think where he like breaks down? Or maybe crying because in a way she's like even though he loves Mark, I mean, she's his past, his life, and that she's the person he can finally, you know, let it out to.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Well, I think it would be bad to plan it. I think if it happened to you that you should go with it. You know what I mean? I think all of those things are, if you plan it, it just takes it away. Takes away from it. You know, if it's something that you think could happen and it actually does happen to you, then you've thought about it, then you know enough that you give yourself permission to go with it. But to again, to decide what you want to get to, a point you want to get to before you get to it, I think that's a huge mistake. I think it's got to be an accident.
Yeah. Okay.
But thinking about the potential that it could happen is absolutely fine as you're developing the characters. Thinking about the potential of what could happen, but never trying to manipulate the potential, always trying to trust where you are to take you to the next moment. That's the key.
So, Bill, what is the difference when a director says, at this point, I want you to sneeze? And I mean, that's setting something up, right? I mean,
of course. And this is the kind of direction you get from most directors. And what you need to do in that situation, which, believe me, I was guilty of horribly when I was a young director, and I never even realized it. But then you've got to say, okay, I think I can make that happen. But I can't put a Band-Aid on it. I got to go back and see how I get to that point. So everything else that comes before it has got to be
justified, right?
Yeah, I've got to accidentally trip on this moment. I've got to figure out, I got to go back and do the math to figure out how I can trip upon this moment that you want me to trip upon. But if I plan it, I'm screwed. I will do the best I can. I think I can make, well, what you always want to say to a director until you get really frustrated with them is, I think I can make that happen, right? And just to make them happy in the moment, you can put a Band-Aid on it and make that moment happen for them. But then your work, you got to know that that was just a Band-Aid, and you got to take the Band-Aid off and go back and examine the whole thing that leads you up to the injury that of that moment that you want.
Right, which would make, what I as the actor, or us as the actor, would have to justify that moment, right?
Yeah. If what you need to say is that, okay, yeah, I think I can make that happen. but then I need to start here when I get to this point. In other words, to possibly get to that point.
Yeah, okay.
Okay? So, but your first reaction should be, yeah, I think I can make that work.
So you don't plan out like a monologue. You don't plan out your moments. It's
No.
all like by accident, the
Yeah.
moments will come, but you're coming in with a point of view. that
Oh,
would
of course,
bring
course.
that-
And you got to see where that point of view takes you, based on what's happening to you that you have no control over emotionally, and what you're trying to do to survive it. That's the wave you jump on, and then you have to go with the force of the wave, not go with the force of you trying to manipulate what's going on.
So in honoring the playwright's words, is that what that means?
Well, I'm not clear about what is the
I mean,
playwright?
if you have no one else and you're doing a monologue, if you weren't around, the playwright is like kind of like the monologue is telling me where to go. I mean,
Well, no, the monologue's not that. I mean, the playwright gives you words to survive what's happening to you emotionally that you have no control over. And as long as you're always trying to survive that, the playwright's word should make complete sense. This is what's happening to me, and this is the only thing I can say, should be your thought process.
okay.
Okay? So that's how you honor the playwright's words and still honor your own process in the same moment.
Okay.
Is that confusing, or is that?
No,
that
I think
clarify?
it makes sense, but I guess when I do it,
Yeah.
when I
Mel has this confused look on her face.
oh,
I was muted. I'm really listening. It's not confused.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
it was
Good.
actually,
I just want to make sure, All right, good. I hope that helps, Anj.
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I guess emotionally we'll have to put the two together.
Well, and like I say, you're going through the same thing every time. Something is happening to me emotionally that I can't control, and I have to say these things in order to get through this moment. That's the same. So you're always doing the same thing. And if you put your focus on what's emotionally happening to you that you can't control, there's no way it could ever come out the same way two times. The way it comes out the same way two times is when you manipulate how to say the words to try to get the effect. That's how, you know what I mean?
Yes.
That's the kind of accident that I'm talking about. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is to give the actor the same thing to focus on every time. What's happening to me emotionally that I can't control, and what am I doing to try to survive it? What's my action to try to survive it? What's my words to try to survive it, right? I do that every time. If I keep my focus on what's happening to me emotionally. Remember, I told you that in a play, there are words and actions. The playwright gives you words and actions in a play, right? And if you just say the words and do the actions, it's a two-dimensional performance. What makes it a three-dimensional performance is this part that I'm talking to you about, is that you have to be in a place. You have to be in an emotional place that you have no control over. And that's what makes it human. When you say the words and do the actions so your focus is the actor has to be there. That's why Cindy screwed up that one time, is because she was focused in the right place. And all of a sudden, the things that the playwright gave her weren't there because she was so in the place that she was. That's what's exciting to watch.
It actually happened at the end too.
Yeah.
Which is why the line didn't come out as a matter of fact, you are.
Yeah.
Thank God you won't be around much longer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Does that clarify it?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yeah. It will never come out the same way unless you make it come out the same way.
Right.
But you always have to do the same thing when you begin the approach to it.
Okay.
Okay, good. I know it's a dichotomy. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
It's like, it is. It's like acting is backwards from life. Right? In life, the shit happens and we make up the dialogue in action.
Mm-hmm.
In a play, we're given the dialogue and action. It's useless unless we're in that place that makes us say it in the first place. That's the place you want to be. Yeah, good. Okay, I see that big smile, Mel. That's great. It's like, oh yeah, I get it now. That's cool now. It's comforting in that you can do the same thing every time, and it's also satisfying in the fact that it will never come out the same if you're actually doing it.
Right.
It's just not possible. But I've heard actors, you know, and I hear you guys sometimes, and I hear the exact same line reading over and over and over again after we make an adjustment. And to me, that's not possible. If we've made an adjustment, then everything else changes as well. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, let's do, well, let's have, let them hear the French monologue. Let's do that first. Oh, okay, let's do that for just a second.
Okay.
So you guys can hear this, okay?
Yeah.
And this has to be done in your very best French accent.
Well, okay.
I'm so freaking excited.
Hello, you. Remember me? Chanteuse Rosée? The little girl with the big voice who died for love twice a night. Oh, how I love to sing of love, en français, of course. French is the language of love. Of course, I was not always French. Until I was 13, I was German. Being German was nice. I liked the sausage. But in my heart, I knew something was missing. So at 13, I decided to change. For a while, I was Danish, comme ci, comme ça. I liked the pastry. Then I was very many things. I was Irish, Italian, Romanian, Polish, but always, no matter how good the food or how high the mountains, I knew something was missing. L'amour, n'est-ce pas? I needed to sing of my broken heart, to die for love twice a night. And for this, I need a slit in my skirt, a beret on my head, a long cigarette, champagne, and stiletto heels. I needed to be French. French. My German papa was right. When I was a little girl, he used to come into my room, kneel by my bed, and whisper into my ear. He would say, Heidi! I was still German then. Heidi, you're different. You should be French. And then he would sing me a little lullaby that never failed to help me sleep. And so, my friend, tonight, I would like to sing for you my German papa's lullaby. To me, he sang en français. Monsieur?
And then the music begins. Yeah.
Allez-vous, français, chanson, Paris, filet mignon, n'est-ce pas, mon
Good.
ami?
Good. That's great. Isn't that a great monologue?
It's a wonderful monologue.
Oh,
Great.
man. God, I love it. I love it. You know that the German section, go, Heidi,
Right.
you should be French. You know, keep that all in a German
Keep that
accent.
all, yeah, okay.
Yeah. He would come into my room and go, Heidi, you should be French. Anyway, that's great. Now, so what I want you to think about as we go through this is I want you to think about being more of a chanteuse,
Okay.
okay? And loving the fact. In other words, you know, and I would sing a lullaby twice a night. In other words, that she loved, you know, she did 2 shows every night, you know,
Right.
so that's just
Right.
who she was.
Right.
It's all about being that chanteuse. And one great thing about it is because you're still learning it, pacing wise, you really handle it well. You know, I mean, I think we'll actually be able to tighten it once you know it better.
Right.
But what I need you to think of is, I love you. You remember me? The little girl with the big voice. You know, it's that sense is that she can have so much fun with it. Who died for love twice a night. It's yeah. Come on, you must remember me. Yeah, there's this aspect of her self-confidence, which is great. You know, that's one of the things you want to work on.
Right.
So you've got an overly self-confident character here. There needs to be she needs to be overly self-confident.
Okay.
Okay, like I never fuck up.
Okay.
You remember me, I never fuck up. I only fuck down. It's that same sense. And so that you can have so much fun with doing it, right?
Right.
That's what, you know, Mel brought this up earlier. One antidote to fear is play. And so one of the things I want you to play in with this character is an exceeding amount of self-confidence.
Okay.
So much so that she can make fun of herself and anyone else, you know, so that you add that little edge to it. It's kind of I think, a contemporary way of looking at it. It's kind of you've seen Saturday Night Live comedians who have this great self-confidence where they do other characters. And there's always just a little wink behind it because they're so self-confident. There needs to be this monologue in order to really work most effectively needs to make that happen, right?
Okay.
That's where you need to work on. That's great. Nice stuff. And it's so perfect for you, my dear.
Oh, merci.
Oh, yes. And you know how sometimes the French love to be French, you know? And I think that's one of the reasons that I wanted you to do it, because the dialect you can play with because you know it so well. You have it. You own it. If you own it, and you do own it, that's a great point of self-confidence just right there.
Thank you.
Okay. Good. All right. So, all right. Let's switch to let's just switch to Vasily, and then we'll come back and do Mel and Ange in the Christopher Durang. So let's see what we got with our dear German. This is a German school teacher. So this this really scary woman and her henchmen come back to this town, and everybody's just fucking scared shitless of them because they know there's a whole history that's tied up. The whole history of the town is tied up in this woman's return, and they're all scared shitless. And this school teacher is speaking up when maybe he's scared too, but he's speaking up. So it's sort of, let's see where that goes.
You're right. Absolutely. It's all your fault. And now I want to tell you something, Alfredo, something fundamental. They will kill you. I've known it from the beginning, and you've known it too for a long time. Even no one else in Berlin wants to admit it. The temptation is too great, and our poverty is too wretched. But I know something else. I shall take part in it. I can feel myself slowly becoming a murderer. My faith in humanity is powerless to stop it. And because I know all this, I have also become a sot. I too am scared, El, just as you have been scared. And finally, I know that one day an old lady will come for us too, and then what happened to you will also happen to us. But soon, perhaps in a few hours, I shall have lost that knowledge. Another bottle of Steinhager. Put it on my account.
Cool. Cool. Okay, go. So, this guy, what's happening to him emotionally that he can't control is what, Vasily? While he's saying this.
Fear.
Okay, great. Fear. That's usually a driver of all problems, right? So it's fear to this point. He says he's become a sot, right? Which is really code for alcoholic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's a school teacher that drinks to hide his to make his fear disappear.
To escape.
I'm sorry?
To escape.
I still didn't hear.
Escape. To
Escape. Yeah, it's an escape. But he's become an alcoholic, right? So the Louise Hay book on alcoholism, the emotional cause of alcoholism is what's the difference? What does it matter? What the fuck? Who cares? That's what an alcoholic is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they drink, is because it doesn't make any difference anymore, right? So that I want you to think about doing this speech just a little bit drunk, in other words, because don't you ask for another drink in the context of this?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so maybe it's the alcohol that makes you speak, not defeating your fear. It doesn't make any difference. It's like, what the fuck? They will kill you. They will. I know they will. And one day they're going to come for me. Some old lady's going to come for me, and I'll die. In other words, it shouldn't matter to him. It shouldn't be like an evil warning. You need to be the sot that you say you are, that gives you the freedom to speak the truth, because it doesn't matter anymore. What the fuck does it matter anymore? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that you need to get lost in the fact that it maybe that you've had enough alcohol that you're not afraid anymore, that it doesn't matter anymore. I want to see you do the speech so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
All right? What the fuck? I can say anything because someday somebody's going to come and kill me and I'm going to be gone. So what's the fucking, and they're going to take you and they're going to take this whole town, and this whole town is so fucking scared anyway. They're, right? Because there's a money payment involved. That's your reference in this town, right? In other words, the whole town gets a shitload of money if this guy dies. Right? I mean, right? It's almost like what's happening with the people on the right now. It's like they don't care. It doesn't matter to them anymore. This place is so fucked up. Who cares? Let's kill them. Go ahead. You're gonna die. Let's see what happens if it doesn't matter. If it's what the fuck. Here we go.
You're right, absolutely. It's all your fault. And now I want to tell you something, Alfredo, something fundamental. They will kill you. I've known it from the beginning, and you've known it too for a long time, even if no one else in Galen wants to admit it.
Good, good. Now, this is great, right? Now, hear what you're saying, and they've known it all along, and you've known it all along, and we've been holding this in. So only the alcohol allows me to tell the absolute truth. Only the fact that I don't give a fuck what happens because it's all going to hell anyway, am I able to tell you what's actually happening. So the very first line is what?
You're right.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It's all your fault. And now I want to tell you something, Alfredo, something fundamental. They will kill you. I've known it from the beginning, and you've known it for too long time, even if no one else in Galen wants to admit it. The temptation is too great, and our poverty is too wretched. But I know something else. I shall take part in it. I can feel myself
good.
becoming
Now,
a
and
murderer.
This is the part where you've got to be so far gone. But I know something else, man. I know I'm gonna take part in it. I'm gonna fucking be part of killing you.
Mm-hmm.
It's right. So it's really what you're releasing is so deeply held back here in the back of your head and has been in this whole town that you're the one who's bringing it forward because it doesn't make any difference anymore. We're all just lying to ourselves. And this lady is just, she's coming for all of us and we're all just lying to ourselves. So that it's a really, really even deeper truth that you're allowed to tap into, but it's a great start. Try it again.
From the top, right?
Sure.
You're right. Absolutely. It's all your fault. And I want to tell you something, Alfredo, something fundamental. They will kill you. I've known it from the beginning, and you've known it for too long time, even if no one else in Galen wants to admit it. The temptation is too great, and now poverty is too rich. But I know something else. I shall take part in it. I can feel myself slowly becoming a murderer.
No, don't try to. I can feel myself. It should be as confusing to you as it is too, even though you're admitting it. I can, I would never have thought this of myself. But the truth is, you know what? I'm gonna take part. I can feel it. It's happening, right? It's this sense of telling the absolute truth because it doesn't make any difference.
You mean realization at the moment?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I never realized it right now, but I'm gonna do it. And here we go.
I'll go from the top again.
Sure, always.
You're right, absolutely. It's all your fault. And I want to tell you something, Alfredo, something fundamental. They will kill you. I've known it from the beginning, and you've known it too for a long time, even if no one else in Galen wants to admit it. The temptation is too great, and our poverty is too wretched. But I know something else. I shall take part in it. I can feel myself slowly becoming a murderer. My faith in humanity is powerless to stop it. And because I know it all this, I have also become a sot. I too am scared, just as you have been scared. And finally, I know that one day an old lady will come for us too. And then what happened to you will also happen to us. But soon, perhaps in a few hours, I shall have lost that knowledge. Another bottle of Steinharder. Put it in my account.
Good. Better. Much better, right? But you've got to feel empowerment of telling the absolute truth because you don't give a fuck. Right?
Okay.
All right? And take your time. Because you're working through something, right? Here's another thing about alcoholism. When you're drinking, right? And it is you've got to give yourself the alcoholism, and then you've got to try to talk through it. You can't try to talk and make yourself sound like an alcoholic. You know what I mean? In other words, you got to give yourself the I don't give a fuck, and you've got to try to make perfect fucking sense through it. Okay? Right? So that I'm not manipulating how I say this, or I'm not trying to act drunk. All I'm trying to do is to give myself the haze that a drunkenness gives you at a certain point. Does that make sense? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can give you some tricks if you want them, but I don't think you need them. So try it again through the haze. Clarity through haze. That's what alcoholism. Clarity through a haze of the alcohol. And the haze of the alcohol is what makes you fearless. It makes you so fearless that you even admit to being afraid in this monologue. That's how much you don't give a fuck. You admit to being afraid.
You're right, absolutely. It's all your fault. And now I want to tell you something, Alfredo, something fundamental. They will kill you. I've known it from the beginning, and you've known it too for a long time.
Good. I want to go back. That was so good, Vasily. I've known it from the beginning. Now dig this in deep, and you've known it too. And this guy does know when this woman comes into town that he's going to die. That is the truth. That is the first moment of the play. You guys must remember that from the musical. It's like the guy immediately knows that when she actually shows up that his life is over. So tell him. Good. Great start. Try it again.
You're right, absolutely. It's all your fault. And now I want to tell you something, Alfredo, something fundamental. They will kill you. I've known it from the beginning, and you've known it too for a long time, even if no one else in Gillen wants to admit it. The temptation is too great, and our poverty is too wretched. But I know something else. I shall take part in it. I can feel myself slowly becoming a murderer. My faith in humanity is powerless to stop it. And because I know all this, I have also become sucked. I too am scared out, just as you have been scared. And finally, I know that one day an old lady will come for us too. And then what happened to you will also happen to us, but soon, perhaps in a few hours, I shall have lost that knowledge. Another bottle of Steinhager, and put it in my account.
Great. That's really coming along. Wow. See, this is what I mean, guys, when I say that there's something happening to you that you can't control. When you hear a guy who's drunk and is drinking to hide his fear on a daily basis, he's drinking to hide his fear every day, and he's finally in this particular place. It doesn't matter. I can't lie because that's why I'm drunk anyway. I don't give a fuck, right? So powerful, Vasily. What's temptation? What is the word temptation? What do you say?
The temptation is too great and our poverty is too wretched.
Okay, so what's the line before that?
I've known it from the beginning, and you've known it too for a long time, even if no one else in Galen wants to admit it.
Put a pause after that, right? And hang on to that energy. And that next line, the temptation line, is a new beat. It's a new beat, but it's held on. You got to hold on to that energy from where you are in there. So write a pause in there for.
Mhm.
And absurd. I shall take part. What is that? What's the line right before and I shall take part?
I shall take part in it.
Yeah. What's the first line? What's the line that precedes it?
But I know something else. I shall take part in it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an even greater absurdity to this character who has never been violent in his whole life.
Mhm.
Right. And you've got to come from that. And I know something else. I shall take part in it. That's the most absurd thing in the world thought to you that you're admitting through this haze.
But I know something else. I shall take part in it.
Yes.
I can feel myself slowly becoming a murderer. My faith in humanity is powerless to stop it. And because I know all this, I have also become such.
Good. And that's admitting that you're an alcoholic in front of everybody else. The whole town is here, right? It's not just you. The whole town is hearing you say this. It's not just a one-on-one conversation. There are a lot of other people in the room.
Mhm.
So that's the other thing that you have to keep in mind as you continue to develop this piece.
Mhm.
It's a lesson for everybody else in town. I bet there are a few other alcoholics in town for the same reason. But you're the one who doesn't give a fuck enough to admit it. Not them. That they sometimes being an alcoholic and not giving a fuck makes you just disappear within yourself. You at this particular point, you don't give a fuck more than anybody else. I'm just going to tell you what everybody else is thinking. Okay?
Mhm.
I don't care. I don't care what they think. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking about this line. He's saying, the line is, and finally I know that one day an old lady will come for us too, and when what I happened to you will also happen to us, but soon, perhaps in a few hours, I shall, blah, blah, blah. So it's so interesting because I just realized that, I mean, he would mention, particularly that thing he's talking, an old lady will come for us too.
Yeah.
As if like he's talking, not the lady who came to the town.
Right.
He's talking about the death.
Yeah, he's talking the old lady is dead.
I just realized that the beginning of the play starts, she comes to the town with coffin.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
With a coffin.
Yeah.
And then it's just like he's talking about everybody's waiting us.
Right.
The old lady, the death.
Right.
It's just it's so metaphorical to me. There could be too many, just like two directions in there. I mean, I can mention both, and the woman who came to the town, and the death as a.
Doesn't she come? I mean, tell me. I never saw the musical, but there must have been a scene when she arrives in the town. She must be carried by other men, right? She must be on some sort of a dais, carried by other men, and behind them is a wagon with the coffin in it. And she's dressed in black with a black veil over her head. She really is death, She is really death, specifically coming for Mr. Ill. But what you're saying is that's coming for all of us, so what's the fucking difference? Right?
Mr. Ill.
Yeah.
Like illness,
Yeah. That's his name. Isn't that his last name? Ill?
Yeah. Alfred Ill, yeah.
Alfred Ill.
As if like the character's name tells the story already.
Yeah, exactly. You want to give it one more shot, and then we'll bring it in. We'll see what you bring in next week. That's great. Again, this is the key. This is his thought before he begins this monologue every time, and then he sees where it takes him. His thought before he begins it is, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I'm going to say what's on my mind. I'm not going to do it. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks.
I wish I had some scotch around me. You know, I have to tell you, sometimes it helps to feel it out.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But I don't really want to be addicted to it. But you know.
Well, no. But what I'm saying is you can make yourself believe that you don't give a fuck of the ramifications of what yourself. You don't need the alcohol for that.
Not necessarily.
No. It's actually a state of mind that I love being in. I don't care. I wish I could do that in life with certain things.
From my own experience, I did that before stage. It doesn't work anyway.
Okay. But that's what I'm saying is it will never come out the same if he always just thinks that. He'll always risk more in different places. Take a shot.
Okay, you're right. Absolutely. It's all your fault. And now I want to tell you something, Alfredo, something fundamental. They will kill you. I've known it from the beginning, and you've known it for too long time, even if no one else in Galen wants to admit it.
I want to go back. I still don't feel that's deep enough from the history of when you've known it all along too. I mean, don't give me any of this bullshit because he always, Mr. Ill, if I recall correctly from the play, he never admits his fear.
This is hard. Okay. All right, you're right. Absolutely. It's all your fault. And now I want to tell you something, Alfredo, something fundamental. They will kill you. I've known it from the beginning. And you've known it too for a long time, even if no one else in Galen wants to admit it. The temptation is too great and our poverty is too wretched. But I know something else. And I shall take part in it. I can feel myself slowly becoming a murderer. My faith in humanity is powerless to stop it. And because I know all this, I have also become a sot. I too much scared, just as you have been scared. And finally, I know that one day an old lady will come for us too. And then what happened to you will also happen to us. But soon, perhaps, in a few hours, I shall have lost that knowledge. Another bottle of Steinhager and put it in my account.
Because it doesn't make any difference because I'm never going to have to pay the fucking account anyway. Right? That's the whole thing. That's really coming along nice, Vasily. That's the other part that I want you to think of when you're working on this as well is that it's not private, it's public. So you're saying this in front of a group of the whole town who also is going through the same fear, not as deeply because Mr. Ill is the only one who's scheduled to die out of this. Because if he dies, the town gets all this money, right? If he dies, the town gets the money. So they are all potential murderers around you, surrounding you, right? And you're sort of admitting it for the whole fucking town because that's also wrapped up into this moment for him as well.
Well, that factor, I really kind of missed that. And I thought there's something missing. Yes, you just mentioned that. I didn't think about it. Can I try one more time and we'll move on? Because, my mind is just...
Yes, you're too fucked up, I know. All right, good. man, I can't wait for you to see the playbacks. I can't wait for you to see the playbacks.
Okay.
They're wonderful. They're wonderful. It's invented every time, Vasily. Keep going.
All right. Absolutely. It's all your fault. And now I want to tell you something, Alfredo, something fundamental. They will kill you. I've known it from the beginning, and you've known it for a long time, even if no one else in Galen wants to admit it. The temptation is too great and our poverty is too wretched. But I know something else, and I shall take part in it. I can feel myself slowly becoming a murderer. My faith in humanity is powerless to stop it. Because I know all this, I have also become a sot. I too am scared ill, just as you have been scared. Finally, I know that one day an old lady will come for us too, and then what happened to you will also happen to us. But soon, perhaps in a few hours, shall have lost that knowledge. Another bottle of Steinhager put in my count.
Nice, nice, nice. Play that back, baby. You're on exactly the right track. Exactly the right track. You're calling everybody else's number in the town with this, not only his number, you're calling everybody else's number. You're calling them all so greedy that they will take part in his murder as well, so that the town receives the benefits of the money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And you're calling him on that. Great job. I can't wait for you to see the progression of what you've done.
Thank you.
And we all saw the fact that it didn't even come close to coming out the same anytime, but he was doing the same thing every time. That's what's exciting, is because he's involved in the invention, we're involved in the invention. If he was trying just to seem drunk, it would just be boring. It would just be a bunch of words. But he's creating something out of that moment. I'm sure you
I still, I just realized something. I still feel, particularly in this, because it's not, I know you said that playing a drunk is not all about action and saying words. It's all about what's behind, and then you struggle through and saying that. But I still kind of experience a little insecurity in this area. If I do sort of things like this.
Tell me, what's your insecurity?
I think when I stopped this, I was trying to do whatever I could feel. But then when I stopped it, when I stopped the monologue, I felt like, I didn't listen to myself, but the feeling is still there. It's just like, I had a feeling kind of that, did I overdo it? Did I kind of overact it? Or,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, what you're doing is you're monitoring your own consciousness of what you're going through. And that's a very typical thing to happen to an actor in the beginning of a process of creating a character. So that's not you're going to get rid of that, and you're going to lose that voice and that consciousness as we develop it over the next couple of weeks.
But I didn't have that voice during monologue. I had that voice after when I finished.
That's good.
That's a big difference. It's not like the voice was bothering me, and no, it was just like,
you're going back and you're saying, I wonder if I did this, I wonder if I did that. I love that. You don't know. I love that you don't know that. I love that you don't know that. And the last take that you did was your best take.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice work. Nice work. What a it's such a good piece for you. It's nice to have a little drunk monologue. It's nice to have a little monologue where there's no editor.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It reveals something about your character and who you are when you're doing something that has no editor. It's great. Okay, thank God for alcohol for that reason. Gets rid of my editor. Gets rid of my editor. Okay, let's go to Anj and Mel on our little Christopher Durang scene.
Is this lighting okay? The lights in this room is horrible. Is it okay?
I could see your face a little better. It would help me if I could see your face a little
Let me
better.
see if I can do this.
Yeah, I'm going to be back in 2 seconds. I want to get a drink. I'll be right back.
That look better? Should I just shut off the light behind me?
Try
There's a little-
try shutting off the light behind.
Yeah, I
There's a
think
little
you should
shadow
shut it
on
off.
There's a little shadow on your face.
Well, I think it should be much better now.
That's better.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's much better.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
all right.
So let's
So-
hope we do not freeze. I do not freeze.
Okay. I'm leaving the room.
So she should leave the room. You can send Miss Pringle in now, Henry. Oh, I love having a male secretary. Makes everything worthwhile. I want you to sharpen the pencils, please, Henry, and then check the coffee pot. Thank you. Hello, Miss Pringle.
Hello, Mrs. Willoughby.
How are you?
I'm fine, but I wanted to talk to you about Daisy Dingleberry.
Oh, yes. That rather peculiar child who's doing so well on the track team.
Yes, she's doing very well, but I
Oh,
thought
wait just a moment, would you? Sorry. Henry, check that we have enough non-dairy creamer for the coffee. And then I want you to go out and buy my husband a birthday present, would you? I don't have time. Thank you, sweetie. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
well, I'm worried about Daisy.
Mm-hmm.
She's very good on the track team, and sometimes she does well in her classes, but she stares a lot and
Yep.
absent a lot.
Yep. Oh, go on.
So it's about her essay, her summer essay. You know, what I did last summer.
Oh, what did you do?
No. It's the topic of the subject. What you did last summer.
Well, Mr. Willoughby and I went to the New Jersey seashore. He grew up there, you know. Oh, he has such fond memories of his childhood. Bouncing on his mother's knee, being hugged, being kissed. Henry, I want you to buy my husband underwear. Pink, the bikini kind. Oh, something from Calvin Klein or something like that. Oh, or you could go through your catalog, your Amen catalog, if it wouldn't take too long. He's a medium. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, dear. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Well, about Daisy's essay, I would like.
What about it?
Well, I
Oh, wait just a moment, would you? Henry, I meant he's a medium size, not that he holds seances. I didn't want there to be any misunderstanding. I don't think there was, but just in case. I myself am into black magic. Henry, I have just taken out a black candle and I'm thinking of you. Do you have a match?
no, I'm sorry. About Daisy's essay, I would like to.
I'm all ears.
Well,
Which, of course, is a figure of speech, because indeed, as you can see, I'm very much more than ears. I have a head, I have a neck, I have a trunk, I have a lower body, I have legs, I have feet. Henry, I have legs and feet. I hope you're getting your work done quickly.
pay attention to me. Listen to what I have to say. Listen to what I have to say.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, I will. You're right. Oh, I do admire strong women. I've always been afraid that I might be a lesbian, but I've never had the opportunity to experiment with that side of myself. You're not interested, are you? I mean, you're single. Maybe you are a lesbian.
No, I'm not a lesbian. Oh, but thank you anyway.
Well, no, neither am I. I just thought I might be. Henry, you don't think I'm a lesbian, do you? The intercom only works one way. It needs to be repaired. But then, of course, Henry is a mute anyway.
Mrs. Willoughby, please, put your hand over your mouth for a moment and listen to what I have to say.
I am all ears.
Good. Thank you. I have been very concerned about Daisy's essay. I just want you to listen to it. What I did for my summer vacation by Daisy Dingleberry. Dark, dank rags, wet, fetid towels, a large German shepherd, its innards splashed across the windshield of a car. Is this a memory? Is this a dream? I am trapped. I am trapped. How to escape? I try to kill myself. But the buses always stop. Older people and children get discounts on buses, but still, no one will ever kill me. How did I even learn to speak? It's amazing. I am a baked potato. I am a summer squash. I am a vegetable. I am an inanimate object who, from time to time, can run very quickly, but I am not really alive. Help, help, help. I am drowning. I am drowning. My lungs fill with summer ocean, but I still do not die. This awful life goes on and on and on. Can no one rescue me? What should I do?
Well, I think you should give her an A. I think it's very good. The style is good. It rambles a little bit, but it's unexpected. It's this intriguing combination of Donald Bartlemay and Sesame Street. All that I am a baked potato stuff. I liked it.
Yes, but don't you think the child needs help?
Well, a good editor, I'm sure, would give us some pointers. Granted, but oh, I think she's a long way from publishing yet. I feel that she should stay in school, keep working on her essays. Well, nobody runs as fast on the track team. I think this is all premature, Miss Pringle.
Well, I feel she should see the school psychologist.
I am the school psychologist.
What happened to Mr. Byers?
I fired him. I thought a woman would be so much better suited for the job.
Do you have a degree in psychology?
I imagine I do. Well, I can have Henry check if you insist.
No.
Are you sure you're not a lesbian?
Well,
I think that you are being too forceful. It's unfeminine. And I think that you are picking on this poor child. Show some promising creativity. And first, you try to force her into some premature publishing, and now you wanted to see some awful shrink who will rob her of her creativity in the name of some awful god of normalcy. Well, Miss Pringle, this is what I have to say to you. You will not rob Daisy Dingleberry of her creativity. She will not see a school psychologist as long as she is in this school. And you, Miss Pringle, are hereby fired from your position in this school. Good day. Henry, kindly remove Miss Pringle from this office bodily, would you, sweetie? Thank you.
You don't have to do that. I can see myself out. And let me tell you something. I think you are insane. And I am sorry you are in a position of power.
But I am in a position of power. Aren't I, Henry? Now, get out of here before I start to become violent.
I'm sorry. You will not let me help this child.
Help this child. She may be the next Virginia Woolf, the next Sylvia Plath.
Dead, you mean?
Who cares if she's dead as long as she publishes? Now, get out of here.
Oh, God, that's good. That's such brilliant writing and brilliant work for both of you. Anj, and I hope, I'm sure Cindy noticed this too, is how well you listened in the piece, you know, that one of the things that you're really starting to do is you're starting to build up naturally what will then come out of your mouth later is that natural buildup, that quiet buildup. It really seems to be happening very nicely with you. I absolutely love it. I think that's one of the strengths of what you're doing. And when you do speak, it's a release of contained energy that's been building up over a period of time, and you're not manipulating. It's just what you're really feeling because you're swallowing all of her bullshit for so long. Woo! So Mel, what I want you to think about is I want you to think about dominating Henry more.
Okay.
And the joy of dominating Henry. Sometimes you're a little too polite with him, and I think the joy is in the domination, you know.
Okay.
And I think then some of that bleeds a little over into her scene because it'd be a hard. In other words, realize when you speak to fucking Henry. Yes, what do you want now? Yeah, in other words, that you bring that energy into your conversation as you're coming out of it. See what happens so that it isn't so manipulated that it's evil to Henry and then all of a sudden a really, you know, sort of, oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. You know,
Okay.
Shut the fuck up, Henry. I'm sorry. What were you saying? In other words, bringing that energy into the real conversation as well. I'd like you to explore that and see where that takes you.
Okay.
What's the, you say something to him about an Amen catalog. What is that? What is that?
Or you can use your Amen catalog if it wouldn't take too long.
Yeah, okay. So an Amen catalog must be a catalog of stuff for gay men, right?
I think it is. Yes.
Okay, good. So Henry's a muted gay man
Yes.
dominated by a lesbian. Right.
He's not dominated. No, I'm sorry. He is not dominated by me. I am nurturing him. He's very creative.
Yeah, you got that right, huh? Yeah.
Just wanted to set the record straight.
Well, what you're really doing is pushing him to be creative, pushing him to his edge.
I am
right?
encouraging him. I am pulling. This is what I do really well. And that is the trouble with Miss Pringle. She does not understand.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. The letter, Anj, okay?
Yes.
I want to talk to you about the letter. I think what you're doing is you're dramatically interpreting the letter, and I don't want.
Yeah,
What I want you to do is to try to make some sort of sense out of it when you're reading it.
Okay.
Right? Even though it doesn't make sense.
Right. Okay.
Right? Give me a couple lines of the letter. Read it. And you know, this is the great part about, I don't know how you guys feel about this or have ever run into it in your thing, but when you're actually reading a letter, you should really have the letter and you should really read it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. All right.
When I was growing up and taking acting, my acting teacher would say, oh, no, you must memorize that letter. You know, and I would go, but the character's not memorizing the letter. Why should I memorize the letter?
Right. Okay.
Well, and then the teacher would go into this long story about how he did this once, and they slipped a phony letter to him in a production so that they knew he was reading it, and they gave him the wrong letter on purpose. So they, you know, you should always have it in the back of your mind so nobody can do that to you. And it just never made sense to me. first of all, that anybody would do that to somebody else in a play, but I know it does happen all the time. People fuck around on plays all the time, especially during a long run of a play. That's where you really got to watch out. But yeah, really just focus on reading the letters.
Okay.
Give me a first couple lines from the letter. Now, so the whole thing is, the setup is, this is how fucked up this little girl is. Okay, so now prove to me in the reading of it how fucked up she is, as opposed to giving me a dramatic reading of the letter.
Dark, dank rags, wet fetid towels, a large German shepherd. Its innards splashed across the windshield of a car. Is this a memory?
Good. Right, good. So each one is, there are units there that are designed to get a reaction from the principal, right? And so I would read something and go, okay, and then you're coming, that didn't work. And so that what you're really trying to do is to bring home the logic of the letter rather than the dramatic nature of the letter, right?
Okay,
right?
yeah.
And actually, if you bring home the logic of the letter, it strangely enough will sound like better writing, in an absurd sense. It really will.
No, it didn't feel right when I was doing it.
Okay, cool. And it's, you know why? It's your old protection. You're dramatic. You'll see it on the playback, how you were so really sort of honest. And then when you get to this letter, all of a sudden you become this dramatic teacher. Right. Another thing that you are doing well is in certain places while you're doing this, and you go, no, will you listen to me? Right? Oh, are you a lesbian? Right? In other words, that it's got to be a direct, almost male force that you're shooting at her that brings that idea to her head.
Right.
Okay. And what I'm really anxious to see with Mel is what Mel will do by carrying some of the energy and talking to Henry back into the conversation and seeing what happens there. And when you're apologizing to her, Mel, it sounds like you're really apologizing to her. Don't apologize to her, even though the lines say that you are apologizing. Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because what's clear is, and that she makes it clear in her dialogue, is that she loves the power. She is the power. She loves, you're making it clear that she loves the power. That this is great. This is good.
That you love the power.
Yeah.
Power.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't hear. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Power, yes.
Oh, yes. Clearly.
Okay.
Very into power.
All right. Let's see what happens with those two, with those adjustments.
Okay.
And
great.
Hold on. Let me get a piece of paper.
I'm sorry I didn't give you that line. I couldn't remember it to save my life, where I say, I don't have all day.
Oh, don't. That's fine.
Okie doke. Okay. Anytime you guys are ready. Here we go.
You can send Miss Pringle in now, Henry. Oh, I do love having a male secretary. Makes everything worthwhile. Henry, check the, no. Henry, just a moment, please. Just wait a moment. Henry, sharpen all the pencils, please. And then I want you to check the coffee pot. Thank you, sweetie.
Good. Let's go back for a second. Good. Yes. That was a great return to what you're doing, right? In other words, each order. What was the last two lines that you just gave? You say check the what?
Sharpen all the pencils, please, Henry, and then check the coffee pot.
Yeah, sharpen all the pencils, please, Henry, and then in other words, separate each one of the orders, because each order is uniquely wonderful and powerful.
Okay, good. Yes.
All right, here we go.
Yes. You can send Miss Pringle in now, Henry. Oh, I do love having a male secretary. It makes it all worthwhile. You can sharpen all the pencils, Henry, and then I want you to check the coffee pot. Thank you, Henry. Hello, Miss Pringle. How are you?
I'm good. Willoughby, I'd like to discuss with you Daisy Dingleberry.
Oh, yes, that peculiar child who's doing so well on the track team.
Yes, she's doing very
wait
well.
a minute, would you? Henry? check that we have enough non-dairy creamer for the coffee. And then I want you to go out and buy my husband a birthday present for me. I don't have time. Thank you, sweetie. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Well, I'm worried about Daisy. I mean, she
I
is.
want to go back. I want to go back. Good. So thank you, sweetie. You know, in other words, you got to really enjoy putting him down. You're really calling, thank you, you little faggot. You know, thank you, sweetie. You know, in other words, there's this whole domination thing that you have of Henry that you've really got to enjoy and embrace. It's great. And Anj, I just discovered, you know, when I shut my light out, I can see you guys so much better, and then I disappear. I love all of that. I just, wow, what a discovery. So, Anj, if you come in, again, here you are is setting yourself up. If you come in a positive nature, thinking that this is all going to go well, you give yourself a lot further to fall away
You're
from.
right.
And so I think you have to believe in that. I think you have to believe in a good exchange up until the point where you can't possibly believe in it anymore.
Absolutely. She's the answer to my prayers, and I didn't.
Right. Bango. Bang. Bang, bing. All right. Good. I love it. Both of you. Here we go.
You can send Miss Pringle in now, Henry. Oh, I love having a male secretary. It makes it all worthwhile. Sharpen all the pencils, Henry. And then I want you to check the coffee pot. Thank you, sweetie. Hello, Miss Pringle. How are you?
Well, Miss Roudebush, I'm fine. But I'm in here because I'd like to talk about Daisy Dingleberry.
Oh, yes, that peculiar child who's doing so well on the track team.
Oh, yes, she's doing very well.
Wait just a moment, would you please? Henry, check that we have enough non-dairy creamer. And then I want you to go out and buy me a birthday present. Not me, I'm sorry, buy Mr. Willoughby a birthday present. I don't have time, Henry. Thank you. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, I'm very concerned about Daisy. I mean, she does very well on track, and sometimes she does very well in her classes. And a lot of times she stares, and she's been absent a lot.
Well, go on.
It's about her essay, you know, what I did last summer.
What did you do?
No, it's the topic of the subject, what you did last summer.
Well, Mr. Willoughby and I went to the New Jersey seashore. He was brought up there, you know. Oh, brings back fond childhood memories, bouncing on his mother's knee, being hugged, being kissed. Ooh. Henry, I want you to buy my husband underwear, the bikini type, pink, Calvin Klein or something like that. Or you could use your Amen catalog if it wouldn't take too long. He's a medium. Thank you, sweetie. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
About Daisy's essay. I would like
what
to
about it?
Well, I really need to talk to you about that.
Wait, just a moment, sorry. Henry, when I said that Mr. Willoughby was a medium, I meant he's a medium size, not that he holds seances. I didn't want there to be any misunderstanding. I don't think there was, but just in case. Just in case. Just in case. Well, what about Daisy's essay?
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Her essay,
Yes,
I'm very concerned about.
I myself am into black magic. Henry, I've just taken out a black candle and I'm thinking of you.
Okay, good. I want to go back. Good. All right, great.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Yeah, no, you're trying to do the right thing. You're absolutely great. We're making the progress we want to make, you know, so don't apologize for working the right way. God, I love it. it's almost like she's an interruption of your day.
Oh, yes, she
Right?
absolutely is.
So,
Yes.
so when you come back and you say, well, what about it? Like, let's get this over with so I can talk to Henry again, right? And then right after that goes, well, what about Daisy's essay? You know, I mean, in other words, there's a growing frustration that you're having with her, which is the irony of the situation is that she's internalizing her frustration with you, and you get to externalize your frustration with her. That's real power. That makes sense? You know, it's like she's wasting your time. I have to get my husband a present. I have to do my candle thing. I have things to do. What do you want? What the hell is this? Right?
I'm so glad you understand, sweetie.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Okay, good. Let's start it again. Yeah.
Okay. Henry, you can send Miss Pringle in now. Oh, I do love having a male secretary. It makes it all worthwhile. Henry, sharpen all the pencils, please. And then I want you to check the coffee pot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Miss Pringle. How are you?
I'm fine, Mrs. Willoughby, but I'm here to discuss Daisy Dingleberry. I'm really concerned.
Yes. That rather peculiar child who's doing so well on the track team.
Oh, yes, she's doing very well.
Wait a moment, would you? I'm sorry. Henry, check that we have enough non-dairy creamer, please. And then I want you to go out and buy my husband a birthday present. I don't have time. Thank you, sweetie. I'm sorry. Go on.
Well, I'm worried about Daisy. I mean, she is doing very well on the track team, and sometimes she does very well in class, and sometimes she stares a lot, and she's absent a lot.
Yep. Well, go on.
So it's about her essay. You know, what I did last summer.
What did you do?
No. It's the topic of the essay, what you did last summer.
Well, Mr. Willoughby and I went to the New Jersey seashore. He grew up there, you know. Oh, it brings back fond memories of his childhood. Bouncing on his mother's knee, being hugged, being kissed. Oh. Henry, I want you to go out and buy my husband underwear. Pink, the bikini type, Calvin Klein or something like that. He's a medium. Thank you, sweetie. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Well, about Daisy's essay.
What about Daisy's essay?
Well, I'm very concerned about it, and...
Oh, excuse me just a minute. Henry, I meant that Mr. Willoughby is a medium size, not that he holds seances. I didn't want there to be any misunderstanding. I don't think there was, but just in case. I myself am into black magic. Henry, I have just taken out a black candle and I am thinking of you. Do you have a match?
No, I'm sorry. About Daisy's essay, I would like...
all ears, which of course is a figure of speech, because as you can clearly see, I am a great deal more than just ears. I have a head, I have a neck, I have an upper body, I have a trunk, I have legs, I have feet. Henry, I have legs and feet, and I hope that you are getting your work done quickly.
Listen to what I'm saying. I don't have all day.
Yes, you're right. I'm sorry, I will. Oh, I do admire strong women. I've always been afraid that I might be a lesbian, but I've never had the opportunity to explore that side of myself. You're not interested, are you? I mean, you're single, maybe you are a lesbian.
No, I'm not a lesbian. Oh, thank you anyway.
Well, no, neither am I. I just thought I might be. Henry, you don't think I'm a lesbian, do you? The intercom's broken. It needs to be repaired. It only works one way.
Mrs. Willoughby,
Anyway, no, Henry is a mute anyway.
Mrs. Willoughby, please put your hand over your mouth for a moment and just listen to what I have to say.
I am all ears.
Good. Thank you. I was disturbed by Daisy's essay. It's called What I Did Last Summer by Daisy Dingleberry. Dark, dank rags, wet, fetid towels, a large German shepherd, its innards splashed across the windshield of a car. Is this a memory? Is it a dream? I am trapped. I am trapped. How to escape? I kill myself. But the buses always stop. Old people and children get discounts on buses, but still no one will ever kill me. How did I ever learn to speak? It's amazing. I am an inanimate object from time to time and can run very quickly, but I'm not really alive. Help, help, help. I am drowning. I am drowning. My lungs fill with the summer ocean, but still I do not die. This life goes on and on and on, and can no one rescue me? What do you think I should do?
Well, I think you should give her an A. I think it's very good. The style is good. Rambles a bit, but it's unexpected. It's like this intriguing combination of Donald Bartlemay and Sesame Street. All that I am a baked potato stuff, I think it's very good.
Yes, but don't you think the child needs help?
Well, a good editor could give us some pointers, granted. Oh, but I think she's a long way from publishing yet. I feel that she should stay in school, continue her work on her essays, and the track team needs her. There's no one who runs as fast. Oh, I think this is all being a little premature, Miss Pringle.
I feel she needs to see a school psychologist.
I am the school psychologist.
What happened to Mr. Byers?
Oh, I fired him. I thought a woman would be better suited for the job.
Wait, do you have a degree in psychology?
I imagine I do. I can have Henry check if you insist. Are you sure that you're not a lesbian?
Well,
I think you're being too forceful. It's unfeminine. You pick on this poor child. Oh my goodness, you pick on this poor child. And then you have the temerity to suggest first that you force her into this premature publishing, and now you want to send her to some awful head shrinker who will rob her of her creativity by sending her to, by sending her to some awful god of normalcy. Oh, it makes no sense to me at all. A moment. I'm extremely busy. I don't know why I have to do this. Well, Miss Pringle, this is what I had to say to you. You will not rob Daisy Dingleberry of her creativity. She will not see a psychologist as long as she is in this school, and you, Miss Pringle, are hereby fired from your position in this school. Henry, come and remove Miss Pringle bodily from my office, would you?
No need to do that. I can find myself out, and I have to say, I think you are insane, and I am sorry that you are in a position of power.
But I am in a position of power. Now, get out of here before I start to become violent.
I am sorry you will not let me help this child.
Help this child.
Yes.
She may be the next Virginia Woolf or
Oh.
Sylvia Plath.
Dead, you mean?
Who cares if she's dead as long as she publishes? Now, get out of here.
Great. Good job. Some of that's starting to work. Some of those transfers are starting to work. Woo, I know it's busy, right?
Woo!
Right. So, Mel, here's the key, right? Is hang on to that energy coming out from Henry and see where it takes you. That's what you've got to really work on, and not try to manipulate it, but just see where it takes you. It's that energy with Henry that's the engine of the scene for you.
Was I beginning to get it?
Yes, absolutely. And you'll see it on the playback where it works and sometimes where it doesn't work so well.
Right, you know, because it's so different. I go, woo, woo.
Yeah. And that way, when it's going like that, it seems more like manipulated comedy rather than the natural element of what
Right.
you're doing.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And believe me, the more you can believe who you are and believe that she is just a bother to you right now. What do you want? Okay, go ahead. Now, what do you want? In other words, always efficiently trying to get her out of the office.
Okay,
Because you have so many other things to do.
yes.
So many places to go. The letter, Ange, was 100% better.
Yeah.
You'll see exactly what I mean.
It felt better.
Right. So, Mel, sometimes when she's reading the letter, right,
Yeah,
she takes a look at you. She'll read a phrase or something, and she'll look at you after she reads the phrase for a reaction.
yeah.
I love the idea that sometimes you don't get a reaction, which makes her go back. But I also would say that sometimes when she looks at you for a reaction, you go, well,
Oh, okay.
you know, like, yeah, so I still don't get your point. Keep going so that you can actually drive the rhythm of her letter a little bit sometimes too. Should be a mix up of things. Sometimes nothing, sometimes something, whatever
Okay.
it is. Yeah. See her in a different way. What's your line, Mel? You're gonna love this. Yes, you're right. What's your line? What's the lines
Yes,
that happen
You're
before?
right. Yes, I'm sorry. I will. You're right.
I'm sorry, I will. Now, what's her line that motivates that? She says what? What do you say, Hans?
Listen, I haven't got all day, I think, isn't it? Is it?
Yes, that's right. Pay attention to me. Listen to what I'm saying. I don't have all day.
Good guess. So now, Ange, listen, I'm telling you, I don't have all day. In other words, you just need to be directly forceful to her, right? So that her reaction to you is, and then she hears a different tone from you, not a panic tone, a really sort of male energy tone. And then all of a sudden she has a different respect for you and she goes, yes, you're right. Are you a lesbian? You know, in other words, all of a sudden seeing another powerful woman for a second, but you need to set that up in a different way.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And then I'll give, right?
Okay.
Because that's a wonderful moment. Because there's a series of lines. When you say, yes, you're right, what's the next line after that? Yes, you're right.
I admire strong women.
Yes, you're right. I admire strong. Now I'll listen to you.
Yeah.
Are you a lesbian? Yeah, that'd be very interesting because I'm interested. Yeah, ties into what you're doing.
Yes, and that makes sense because otherwise, if I'm still being domineering, it doesn't make sense.
No, yeah, absolutely. There's a moment there where you maybe you found something in her that you never saw before.
Right.
Yeah, great. No, permission to continue. Yeah, permission to give an A. Yeah, I think your reaction to, I think what you're doing toward the end, Mel, is you're losing, wanting to get her out of the office and get it over with. So when she finishes the letter, she says, what do you think I should do? Give her an A.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Right? If I give her an A, everything's fine. You get out of the room, everybody's happy.
Okay, I'm still in a hurry. Okay.
Yeah. I think so. I think you just don't want to deal with anybody in the school.
But Henry.
Yeah, but Henry. I love that. And Anj, too forceful. Too forceful. You have a line, Anj? Too forceful?
No, I was probably too forceful in the, when I say pay attention, maybe it was too much.
No, yeah. What's before it? You have a line. It's a line. Too forceful. Somebody has that line.
No, that's my line. Sorry, I'm busy
What is
talking
it?
about this thing. Are you sure you're not a lesbian? I think you're being too forceful. It's unfeminine.
Right. Yeah. She says to you, I think you're being too forceful. You've got to be forceful in that same way that I'm talking about, that same sort of dykish way,
Okay.
right? And then that'll help set that up.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
And his mother's knee. Oh, here's another thing that I heard from her, Mel, is what's your husband's name?
Mr. Willoughby.
Yeah, well, he loves to go on vacations and sit on his mother's knee and blah, blah, blah. Your husband's like a gay man too. Right? And I think you have to think of it and you have to make fun of him that way. Like and he's going to his husband, we go there and he sits on his mother's knee and he's just such a little gay,
Okay.
All right. And I think there's another Durang joke in there. If you believe in that. Yes, you're right. Okay. All right, with those little things, that's what I want you guys to work on for next time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Mel.
Keep working on it because it's good right now, but once Mel gets this transfer from Henry back to you, it's going to make a difference in how you react to it as well, too, Anj.
Okay.
Also, there's a certain point where you don't want to be dramatic, where you want to just be, will you just stop?
Right.
And then she goes, oh, you're right. You're very forceful. All of a sudden, that sort of changes. She's got to have a different energy to try, a different tactic.
Okay.
A different tactic.
Okay.
Okay, like just cutting her off the way you cut her, the way she cuts you off.
Right.
And then oh, wow, that's nice. That's the first time you ever said anything that ever made sense to me.
Right.
All of a sudden she's interested in it. And then that gives her a variance as well.
Great.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank
Nice
you.
work. Nice work.
Thank you.
Such a, yeah, John, what do you want to say?
No, I just wanted to say that, Mel, it's just so when when you change to being stern with Henry, it was so much funnier.
Oh,
Right.
good. Okay.
There
Good.
it is. And they're neat. Yes, sweetie. And I think there's more behind sweetie and honey and whatever you call him. It's like your own personal private, because isn't that what men do to women in the workplace?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, sweetie, go get some coffee for me, will you? Oh, honey, sharpen those pencils, wouldn't you, honey? So it's just a complete reversal of roles, and it's something that you should love and enjoy because, men have been doing it to you for centuries.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
All right.
And John, thanks for the feedback too.
Yeah, that's great.
It's so funny.
It is.
Mhm.
It is. It's really great.
It's hard not to laugh. I'm like, look, I'm dealing with her.
Oh, I know.
Well, laugh away. Laugh is
Yeah.
good.
Please, yeah, well, not so much for Miss Pringle, but good for
No.
you. Yeah. Yeah, Miss Pringle needs to be just more miffed, just miffed. And it's anytime you speak back at her, Anj, it can't be, no, it's got to be, will you stop?
Right.
And then you'll get some respect from her for a moment or two.
Okay.
All right, great.
Thank
So Cindy, I wanted to get at least one run through of your piece from Come Back to the Five and Dime. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
All right. So let me see where you are with that. Have you started? You started to learn it, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Most of it's up there. It's just that it's not quite gelled as much as I'd like yet.
Yeah. Well, whatever that means.
Where I don't have to think so actively about what the next line is.
Okay. Here we go. Let me see what you got.
Okay. Just give me a second. All right. So when little Jimmy Dean was just born, over 3,000 people swarmed into this city over a 1-week period just to see the son of James Dean. He really put McCarthy, Texas on the map for a brief but joyous period of time, and we were the most prestigious, busiest Crestmont in all of Texas. Sidney, Juanita's husband, he was the manager at the time. The signs were his idea, but he had it planned out perfectly. There were newspaper, magazine people all taking pictures and writing down just about everything I would say. I was really quite a celebrity. And people were buying up everything that they could get their hands on just in case Jimmy Dean had touched it. But he was on display on that block over there by the window. And Sidney, he had to hire 2 policemen to protect him from possible molesters and kidnappers. And it wasn't just the 5 dime either. This whole town went through an immense period of prosperity. I mean, you really should have seen it before. It was pretty active for one at this size. But now I suppose everybody has been drawn off to greener and damper pastures. But me, I'm content to remain right where I am.
Just humble little you.
Yeah.
Just humble little me. You know, that's the premise of what the point of view where she's speaking from is, oh no, this really isn't a very big deal when it's everything for her, right? But you have to discount it like you don't want to brag. I don't want to brag, but I'm everything in this town. I don't want to say, you know, right? Okay, so the other thing I want you to do is this time I want you to go through it line by line for a minute, okay? Just get a thought, and I want you to take the dialect out of it for right now.
Okay.
All right, okay? And I just want you to go thought by thought, all right? So what's the very first line?
When little Jimmy Dean was first born, nearly 3,000 people swarmed into this town over a 1-week period just to see the son of James Dean.
Okay, good. So what is that who are you answering? Who are you talking to when you're saying this?
She's talking to Joanne because she doesn't know Joanne is Joe.
Right. Oh, okay. Okay, good. So she's telling her lie to the only person who knows it's a lie for sure, right? The kid who it
she
is,
has
right?
no idea, yeah.
Right. All right. Say that line again to me.
When little Jimmy Dean was first born, nearly 3,000 people swarmed into this city over a 1-week period just to see the son of James Dean.
Okay, good. Now, what I want you to do is, you know how we do the fuck you exercise. I want you to do an oh my God. Oh my God. When little Jimmy Dean was just born, oh my God, everybody, I want you to throw in oh my God, like it was the most amazing thing. That's what the oh my God interpretation is. All right, and I want you to use that through the first line. All right, here we go. Oh my God, start. Oh my God, when little Jimmy Dean came first. Yeah, it's like, man, here we go.
Oh my God, when little Jimmy Dean
No,
was
you're just saying it. I want you to, oh my God. I want you to really, oh my God. Oh fuck. Oh my God. It's that, not just, oh my God, not just don't say it, dig into, you know, oh my God just means like, I don't know, this is the greatest thing that ever happened. Oh my God. This is the greatest thing that ever, oh fuck, this is the great, oh my God. Yeah, that's, I don't want you to throw it away. I want you to really embrace it and then take it into the dialogue and then use it again. All right, here we go. Start real quiet. Don't try to just, oh my God. I mean, don't you know? Jimmy Dean, oh my God, he was the most, oh my God, he was the most famous, oh my God person, right? I'm overdoing it, but that's what I'm trying to get to. All right,
Okay.
here we go. Real quiet. No energy to act. Just the depth of oh my God is what I want you to really focus on. Here we go.
oh my God, when Jimmy Dean was just born, oh my God, almost 3,000 people swarmed into this city over a 1-week period just to see the son, James Dean.
oh my God.
What? Keep going?
Yeah, I wanted to keep going, but that's okay. I want you to watch this playback. Did you all see the difference? Right? It's like you instantly became somebody who's delusional because you so deeply embraced, oh my God, don't you know this? Oh my God, everybody knows this. It was, oh my God. I want you to, it was a great job, Cindy. I want you to take that all the way through the piece. And I just want you to see where it is. Oh, fuck. And you can throw in a fuck or an oh my God or whatever you want. But those are the things that I want you to embrace, like the, oh my God, no. I mean, yeah, see where it takes you, all right? Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
Don't ever throw the thing that I'm giving you away. Embrace that more than anything else, just like you did this last time. You'll see it on the playback. Here we go.
Oh my God.
No, even deep. Oh my God.
Oh my God. When little Jimmy Dean was born, my God, over 3,000 people swarmed into this city over a 1-week period just to see the son of James Dean. Oh my God, he really put the city of Waverly, Texas on the roadmap for a brief but choice period of time. My God, we were the most prestigious, busiest Crestmont store.
Good. That's great. You'll see on the playback, that the first two oh my gods you really embraced, right? Then all of a sudden, oh my God, just became something that you were going to say. You've got to really dig that in. You all seeing the difference, right? It's her own delusion now because she's digging into the delusion. The delusion is, oh my fucking word, oh my God. It could be any of those for my fucking word. It could be any of that, but you have got to dig into that deeper than anything else and then carry that into the dialogue. Take it back one more time. Here we go. Real quiet. Don't try to act. Don't try to push it. Just try to dig in as deep as possible.
Oh my God. When little Jimmy Dean was born, over 3,000 people swarmed into this city over a 1-week period just to see the son of James Dean. Oh my God, he really put the city of Waverly, McCarthy, Texas on the roadmap for a brief but joyous period of time. Oh my God, we were the most prestigious, busiest Crestmont store in all of Texas. Oh my God, Sydney. Oh my God, Juanita's husband, he was the manager at the time, and the signs, they were his idea. Oh my God, we had newspapers and magazine people here writing and taking pictures, writing down everything I would say. Oh my God, I was quite the celebrity. And oh my gosh, oh, he was on display on a block by the window over there. My God, Sydney had to hire police officers to protect him from possible molesters and kidnappers. And oh my God, everybody just bought everything up on the chance that little Jimmy Dean had touched it. Oh, and now I'm forgetting all my words.
Okay, good. You don't have to think, that's all I wanted you to experience tonight. That is exactly who that character is. Do you all see the difference? It's just, this is another great way that you can find your point of view, is to find that mantra. It doesn't always have to be fuck. It can be so many different things, but it's every time you, oh my God, every time you dug deeper in that and then followed through and you reinvented it a couple of times in a completely different way that so modified what you were going to say, Cindy. It was really some of the most creative work You were really creating on the spot. You didn't know the monologue. You were creating on the spot because you were throwing those things in there. And that's what she's doing, is she's creating this lie on the spot. And it's just so overwhelming. It's so oh my God, it's so overwhelming. And oh my God, everybody loved him. So that's how I want you to work on it this week. And then I want you to take.
She tells the story to everybody, right? So.
But she's telling it to him like it's the first time.
Okay.
Right? You don't know this, but yes, absolutely. Everybody's heard it over and over and over, but you've got a new audience. You've got somebody who you think doesn't know anything about it. And the irony of the fact is, this is the one person about it who knows more about it than anybody else. So, but the irony of the fact that you think you're talking to a stranger who doesn't know anything about it, and you're having to create that oh my God, that incredible moment when Jimmy Dean's son was born. Oh my God, I became a celebrity. I can't wait for you to see the playback, Cindy, because it's the strength of that other thing that completely separates this character from the other character you do. And that's what I'm trying. That's why I'm so adamant about you conquering this monologue.
Okay.
Because it's somebody who lives in a different world. And you've got to use those little mantras and work on those things and dig in those little mantras even deeper every time as you begin to work on it. And then toward the end of the week, start to spend time, and they'll be so natural, then you can just take them out. And when you take them out, you've still got to silently say them to yourself so that we don't hear them. And then I can't wait. Then we will start to put the whole thing together.
Okay.
But that's your initial word. That's your initial work on her, right? And you see, none of it has to do with a force or a dialect. We'll be able to add the dialect in later. I want you to get the belief and the depth of her belief and the over-eccentric nature of her beliefs. It's an over-eccentric nature. It's really, it's a character, I think, that will change you if you realize how eccentric you can be. And you can be eccentric. I know that that's in you. And I know that once you farm that eccentricity out in yourself, it's going to open a whole world for you. This is the most important acting exercise you've ever done. And you've got to use that and start working on that mantra. And we'll find another level next week.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good. And all of you, when you're starting to work on stuff in the beginning of stuff, think of those mantras to help you with your point of view. Find exactly the right mantra, and then your point of view will be sharpened. Because point of view is something that you really need to work from the launch. Point of view is something you really need to work that will help you learn the lines better too, as well. It'll be easier. They'll come easier because you're learning them with a point of view. Okay?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Great.
I can't stress how much that has changed my ability to learn lines.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Amazing how it's helped.
Yeah,
to know exactly, why am I saying this? Why am I saying this? Why am I saying
what
this?
does it really mean? What experience did I have that made me say this exactly this way?
Yes.
Exactly. And then once you put that experience in there, then you're speaking from an experience that you'll never forget, as opposed to a line, which is so easy to forget. Right?
Yes.
That's the difference, is that you're actually rehearsing self-confidence into your work, because you're demanding a complete understanding of why you're picking that particular line and why you say it and why the character says it. Woo! John, did you want to get a piece of your
Sure.
We got 8 minutes left, so
Sure.
you want to get a piece of your piece from Sweet Bird Boss Finley?
Just quickly, just wanted to say, Cindy, too, it's always these moments where it clicks for everybody, and everybody totally transforms into the character they're playing. And I just thought, again, same thing for you just now. You totally look different than you did in the other characters you've been playing.
Oh, thank you. I hope so.
That's what I want you to learn. That's what I want you to see. And I want you to see having that deep depth thought process behind what you're going to say is the key to doing that for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Just going to give Vasily my script.
Okay. Vasily, I'm having a script is coming your way. A script is coming your way.
And Bill, you'll send me the Peter Pan one?
Oh, I will. I'll find it this week and I'll send it to you. But you've also got Equus coming up, and I want.
Oh, yes, I look forward to working on that.
I'd like you to do that one next before this, because the Equus woman is a lower middle class woman, English woman.
Okay.
And I want to see you because you have the skills to do the lower middle class range with your dialect. I want to see you do that.
Is that Alan Sprang's mom?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
It's an incredible monologue, and she's a little bit deluded herself. So, okay. Anyway, but I will send you the other one, but don't start on it. Read through it and take a look at it. But I will send you the title of the play and the author as well if you want to order it.
Great, thank you.
Okay. And John, here we go.
You ain't going into no convent. This state is a Protestant region, and a daughter in a convent would politically ruin me. Oh, I know. You took your mama's religion because in your heart you always wish to, you always desire to defy me. Now, tonight, I'm addressing the Youth for Tom Finley clubs in the ballroom at the Royal Palms Hotel. My speech is going out over a national TV network. And Missy, you're gonna march in that ballroom on my arm. You'll be wearing the stainless white of a virgin with Youth for Tom Finley button on one shoulder and a corsage of lilies on the other. And you're gonna be on you're gonna be on the speaker's platform with me. You on one side of me and Tom Jr. on the other to scotch these rumors of your corruption. Looking at you, and you're yeah, and you're gonna, and then
hang in there, John.
You're gonna be on the speakers. You're gonna be on the speakers platform with me. You on one side of me and Tom Jr. on the other to scotch these rumors of your corruption. And you're gonna wear a proud, happy smile on your face. You're gonna stare straight out at the crowd in the ballroom with pride and joy in your eyes. Looking at you all in white, nobody would dare to speak or believe these ugly stories about you. Yeah. Now, I'm relying a great deal on this campaign to bring in young voters for the crusade I'm leading. I'm all that stands between the South and the black days of Reconstruction. And you and Tom Jr. are gonna stand beside me in the grand crystal ballroom as shining examples of white young Southern. And you and Tom Jr., you're gonna stand next to me. You're gonna stand beside me in the grand crystal ballroom as shining examples of white Southern youth in danger.
Good. So, Anj, I hope you recognize this. What was John doing the whole time? Yes, thank you. So what he was doing is exactly right. In other words, what he was doing was physically demonstrating his power by moving in and being close. And what I'm saying is when people do that, they don't have any power. It's back here. Honey, you're fucking going on that stage with me. In other words, you got to know you have the power. That weakened you, completely weakened you, John. Okay? What's the very first line, John?
You ain't going into no convent.
Yeah, so, fuck you. You ain't going into no fucking convent. You've got to practice this week, and then we'll let it take off next week, because fuck you ain't going into no fucking convent, right? Yeah, you're gonna stand on that goddamn stage with me, right? And you understand, I'm not ever gonna do this. I'm not ever gonna do that, because I own the power. I am the boss, right? And you got to know you're the boss. And right now, you don't know it yet, but you got to work on that point of view. Okay. It's a perfect, I mean, anytime you have somebody who has a lot of power, obviously the fuck exercise is key, and using the word fuck, or, you and that motherfucking boyfriend of yours are going to stand on that goddamn stage with me, and you're going to, and whatever you do, put all the foulness you want into it and then take it out, but know you have that power and work that point of view this week. All right? Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. It's a big switch from you. Just like this character that Cindy's doing is a breakthrough for her, and it's going to break things open. This is going to break things open for you in a powerful way, John. It really is. I can't wait to work on these villains with you. But you got to get past this first one. The key to any great villain is the enjoyment of their power, the enjoyment of that motherfucking power, and telling people what to do, not by forcing them, but by knowing, because you say it, they're going to do it. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. What a great night again. And I'm so glad to see you all again. And I'm so happy.
Are you sending us, remember you said there's something about you had a play for 6 people.
I do have, I want just to ask you guys, do you want to try to do a play? I found a play with 6 characters.
Sure.
Yeah, strangely enough. It's a play called The Dining Room. You all have to get the play.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There are 6 actors, and realize that the actors play older roles, and they play children, and they play middle-aged people. And
Fabulous.
yeah,
Fabulous.
and it's a unit. So if all of you would order that play, then we'll talk about it once you have it. But
Mr.
it's The
Mayor?
Dining Room by A.R. Gurney,
Gurney.
right? And I will cast it next week for you. I'll tell you who's playing which actor.
Okay.
Because you all have a through line. One actor has a through line of about 7 different characters.
Wow.
And there's some really powerful stuff and some very funny stuff. It's a great piece and I said, I couldn't believe it. I was going through that, and I said, who did I tell? John, I told you. I said, the next day I picked up this play, and I went, I can't believe it. There's 6 characters, and 3 men and 3 women.
Wow.
I just went, oi, this is perfect.
We have to reboot, I think.
Yeah.
We
I have to
froze
reboot?
again.
Who, I froze? Oh, you froze. Don't reboot. Have a great night. I'll see you all next week.
Oh, you heard that?
Okay.
Love you
Well,
all.
talk
Great.
to you.
All right.
Okay.
Good
Okay,
night.
thank you, Bill. This is
You're
great.
welcome. Thank you.
Bye.